Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So I'm gonna say this early. My computer's been acting funny lately. Don't know exactly what's going on, and I really got to get that resolved because I got a lot of work to do. So it's getting kind of scary with this one. I do have a desktop computer. This is my laptop, which I use down here in the living room. But I got to tell you, man, it's scary when your computer is actually fighting against you, and yeah, very, very kind of frightening. You know what I mean? It's kind of that thing. Um, got a lot of crazy news today, like a lot of crazy news. Um, a little bit to do with Mattel. A little bit to do with Hasbro. But the main topic today the main topic today, which has been the main topic for the last couple of weeks, or the whole week, really, has been independent toys. Independent toys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Um. Yeah, man. If you've been, if you follow my channel and do not know what's happening, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if you didn't know what was going on right now. I've been working heavily for the last week on a project with Matt Hatter and a whole bunch of great creators, a whole bunch of wonderful artists, a whole bunch of great team. And I'm not shy to say that what we did this last week is tantamount to just pure dumb luck. No, I'm seriously, seriously. There was a lot of luck involved. There was a lot of luck, a crap ton of luck, but there was a lot of love. There was a lot of love, and it came not only from everybody who was behind the project, but also from you guys. The community came together and really rallied around Mad Hatter and all the Hatterites, everybody who loves action figures and just despises flippers and scalpers, and there was there was a synergy that came about this. And if it wasn't for the community rallying around this idea, this concept, this new not really new. I mean, like, he's been talking about Flipper Frank, he's been talking about all those things. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for the collective feeling that we get when somebody takes advantage of us and doesn't basically takes away the ability to do and just basically makes us feel vulnerable and unable to purchase the things that we love. Yeah, man, it resounds, it resides, and we feel that all together. It's a collective thing. And you know what? It's a genius thing that that Mad Hatter had been able to do, and we were just happy to be part of it. Um, and yeah, man, like, I just can't believe how far it's come and where we are right now. And we're gonna recap a bit of that because I did a 100,000, like reaching $100,000 in pledges on Thursday, yesterday, and I lost. I don't know if you guys watched it. It was kind of embarrassing. I literally lost it. I couldn't hold it together. It was really kind of crazy. But this is a big project for all of us. Myself, Hatter, um, Ramen Toy, Toy Stalker, Gilly writes comics, renders effects. Everybody who was on the team, and everybody who supported us, like Geek Dad Life, Mr. Home Arcade, Toy Habits, Shartimus Prime. Shartimus Prime shouted us out a little while ago, and Toy Shiz. Oh my God! Everybody who helped bring us this far. To all you guys out there, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for everything. And of course the community. My God, the community. Oh, you guys are freaking amazing. Thank you so much. Um and of course you here on the Mega J Retro channel. Thank you guys. I've been spamming everybody and it's probably been really really annoying. I thank you so much for your patience, but we really just had to make this work, right? And but we're not alone. We're not alone because another incredible company who's no stranger to making toys is really kicking ass right now. They really are, and I am so humbled and glad to know Spero Toys. Their campaign has shot off like a rocket, way faster, way faster and more, and with more enthusiasm. Well, actually, I don't know about enthusiasm, but what I mean is more what's it called, momentum, more momentum than what we were in the first 2 days and 3 days, than what we could muster. And they're so close. They are so close to their goal. But of course, I am not an absolute authority on Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, but I do know somebody who is. I know somebody who is an authority on Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. It's the root of his channel, and I couldn't help but have him on the channel today to talk about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Please help me welcome great friend of the channel, and of course he's been here multiple times. Brick something, Brick.
Hey,
What's going
how's it
on, brother?
going?
How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm
How are
doing
things going?
I'm doing great, Jay. I'm doing great. And yeah, you were looking for an expert, and unfortunately they were asleep. So you got me instead. No, I'm an expert shill. I'm an expert fan for sure. And I'm happy to talk about it. That's why I reached out to you. I was like, hey man, let's talk some, let's talk some indie toys, let's talk some crowdfunding, let's talk some Maywalk, Flipboard, what have you. So I'm
Happy,
excited.
happy to do it. I mean, the indie scene. What can I say? I mean,
That's
like
amazing.
so many great figures. I mean, Frazetta Toys. I
Yep.
mean, oh my god, like Tigra is looking like what? You know what I mean? Like,
Tigra and
holy,
Shaitan
yeah,
are
yeah, they're
both
all
looking
they're all certain
amazing.
like things are things. I mean, like um, everything's just coming full circle right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so amazing how many different companies are coming up. Boss Fight Studios, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like just everything under
Oh,
the sun.
I
Ooh.
totally know what you mean, Jay.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
that
I'm
looks.
inundated over here by
Oh,
indie toys, man.
oh
Whether
yeah,
it's
Four Horsemen.
Maywalk,
Yeah,
Four
can't forget about the Four
Horsemen.
Horsemen, man.
That's like a brand new company, Mithril Action, who's doing like
Yeah,
not World of Warcraft. I'm getting, these Zezre Minotaurs over here. Like, let's talk indie toys,
yeah,
man.
man.
And Animal Warriors
Yep, of course.
from all
Animal Wars.
kingdoms. Yeah.
That's right. It's getting. It's the indie scene is just blowing up right now. Just absolute wow! Look at that, orcs, pure
Seriously,
orcs.
Jay, like we are in this, we talk about this idea of like a golden age or a renaissance or whatever. But one of the things, with Toy Connections with Ken, he's always talking about this notion of like when the fan gets to be the creator. And that's exactly what you
Yeah,
and
Delta
Hatter are
17.
doing.
Yeah, but Delta 17. Delta
Yeah,
17
exactly.
doing their own thing
Speaking of,
too, right? So
it's
that's
amazing.
crazy.
Like we're just spoiled for toys.
That is,
So you've got your Mattel stuff, having fun with Masterverse on my end. You've got your Hasbro stuff, watching G.I. Joe Classified from afar. Don't collect, but I actually ended up buying my first classified figure this past week. No, so 2 weeks ago now, since that Destro, the original Destro. So like we're getting fed. And so I'm happy to be here and thank you for having me. Let's talk toys, man.
yeah, brother. Yeah. So let's start with first of all let's catch up on some news. Um you're presently not collecting any Motu stuff, right? Like
Masterverse, I
nothing.
am.
Yeah, okay, Masterverse. All right, so then that's a perfect segue
Yeah.
into our first bit of news, which is I mean I'm super happy, but at the
Mhm.
same time, because I'm not in the United States, I'm kind of a little miffed.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer.
Just slightly miffed. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm in the wrong window. That's actually what. Hold on. Mattel Creations. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know or didn't see my last video, which of course it was ages ago, because nobody remembers my last video because I've been doing nothing but freaking Flipboard last couple. So who could remember my last video? I don't think anybody could remember my actual last video. Nobody knows what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, it's frustrating as heck for any international fans, but
Yeah, so that.
I do have to say, if I could actually share this freaking window, where is it here? Yeah, the Mattel Creations is doing us dirty. Uh, international. They're doing international fans dirty. Uh, Time honored style, of course, is rad. We got the building iconic duo. a wonderful new Hot Wheels, but the big boy, and I do mean big boy, is the Water Warrior Motu Masterverse Snout Spout. 3 days, 10 hours, and 5 minutes. Brick. This guy, for any Motu fan, is a must-have. I mean, it's freaking Snout Spout, man.
Speaking of Animal Warriors, here's
But
an
unfortunately,
elephant.
here he is. But unfortunately, well, technically he's a cyborg, but yes, he's definitely
Yeah.
an elephant. But unfortunately, for international backers, we were greeted with this once again, and this is the bane of my existence right now. The bane of every fan of action figures right now. Oh, see, I am on the wrong window. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fix that. I was wondering what was going on. I was like,
If you're having issues on that side, I can pull up. I can
no,
show
it's
you
not
how.
that. I had two sets of windows open. And I thought I actually had
Gotcha.
that one open properly. 3 days, 10 hours, 4 minutes, and 58 seconds. Clicking on Explore, though, we are greeted with this absolutely horrid. And of course, apparently, I'm on the US. Oh, nothing's really working right now. Again, my computer's a little bit weird right now. But yeah, this pops up if you're in another country. This product cannot be shipped to your country. This is
Yeah.
disappointing. This is disappointing, Brick. This is very, very, very disappointing, Brick.
Well, I know a guy in the US who might be able to get you one, but yeah.
Well, no, you know,
I know. I know that's not the point.
no. I appreciate
There's
that. I
ways. Yeah.
really do. I really
Mhm.
do. And you know, Brick, I appreciate you grabbing toys for me already. Like, thank you, buddy. But I am disappointed in many ways for anybody outside of Canada, the United States. Like, we
Yeah.
have avenues
Yeah.
here in Canada, right? We have friends, we have family, we can cross the border, we can do whatever we have to do, right?
Yep. Yep.
Use cross border shipping options, right? There's things that we can do here in Canada. But what about people who are in Mexico? What about people who are in
Yeah.
Europe or Japan or like, and the thing is that in the last one, which was Rock On, they actually at the last minute, and this is what I'm worried about again. Very last minute, they actually opened it up to certain countries. They opened it up, I believe, to 9 different countries, which
Mhm.
was Canada. It was and not Mexico, which was very surprising. So it was Canada, Germany. I think it was France. I think it was Japan. I think it was so many different countries. Sorry, so many different European countries. The UK, but not Australia. I think Australia also got it. I think, but
Yep.
again, very strange. But this one, Brick, this one does not have such a caveat. This one actually says currently shipping to the U.S. only.
Yeah, it's odd.
Um, don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Now I have a theory. And it's conspiracy theory. It is. It is a conspiracy theory. But have you heard what's going on with what's continues to go on with Eternia? I don't know if you've heard. You must have heard the rumblings or things that have been
Uh,
happening.
you mean as far as like the damages
The
to
shipping,
boxes? Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
the shipping and
Yep.
handling
Yep.
and so many reports. Now,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just like with Mondo, the reality is the squeakiest wheel gets the oil, right?
Mhm.
And one thing that we have to remember is that even though you're hearing all these reports about damaged boxes and everything like that, in reality, it's my understanding that that's actually probably only the top 5 to 10%, and 10% is high, right?
Yeah.
But this is the most I've heard about it, and probably because it's a really expensive crowdfunded project. I think that's actually the reason why we keep hearing murmurings about it. Because when somebody expects something which is $600 plus to your
Yeah.
door,
Yep.
I think people are expecting perfection. You know what I mean? They're expecting to actually have something which they can cherish, which they can put on the wall. And if you're a inbox collector, you're probably expecting a brand new, perfect box that you can be proud of. And then to
Mhm.
actually see some of these, like I've seen some of them left in the rain. I've seen some of them just be, like stepped on. I've seen them just like absolutely wrecked, and that is not a good sign for any sort of consumer driven product.
No, 100%. And on top of that, it's not like Mattel had no idea that people would care, right? I mean, they know that this is a grail. They knew that they did something, special and offering it and recreating it and redesigning it. They made a big deal of it. And they asked people for $600, and then you didn't do your due diligence to make sure that it's packed well and gets, to people's hands well. So I fully get that. Like I don't know all of that. So I'm curious. I think I've heard your theory. So go ahead and finish up the theory, and I'll
Well,
respond
my
to you.
my my theory is that they're looking for a new partner.
Yep. No, I get that.
I think that they are looking for new terms,
Yeah.
because I don't think that they trust their partner anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think that they trust, whoever the carrier is,
Mhm.
and I do believe that the carrier is probably also, pointing fingers back at Mattel,
Sure.
saying, "Well, these boxes are just not, they're not rated properly."
Sure.
Right? These boxes are these boxes should be like shipped to a warehouse, because that's what these boxes are rated for. They're rated to be shipped in like pallets, right? Wrapped properly in pallets and then shipped off to like Target or to Walmart,
Mhm.
where there would be probably a plus minus of 2% damage. You know what I mean? Because again, when you stack them all in like a gigantic pallet, the ones on the inside are going to be well protected, whereas the ones on the outside are like B stock. You know what I mean? Like they're going to get their dings, they're going to get their things, and those are the ones that can go on clearance or go to like other stores, and not be the ones that are on the floor. Right? They'll probably be actually a lot of times they'll just be shipped back to Mattel as
Yep.
damaged stock.
Yep.
Right? And then Mattel will just liquidate
I'm
those,
hearing you.
to a certain degree. Right?
Mhm.
But they're using those exact same boxes, which are mass produced boxes, instead of doing something which is similar to HasLab. Which, if you looked at a HasLab like Unicron when he was shipped, he was double boxed. You know what I mean? And it was beautiful when he arrived here at my door. Same
Yeah.
thing with Super Seven. Super Seven is doing crazy things with their boxes. So I don't know. It's my conspiracy theory that they're looking for a new partner, and the blame game is going everywhere, right? I imagine that the current carrier said we can't keep putting this on our insurance because this is your fault, and then Mattel's basically going, well, you are the one who gave us you're the carrier, you're supposed to protect it, right? So there's things going on, and they're looking for a new carrier, and their carrier internationally anyways, they probably already have one in the United States now, but in terms of international, they can't find anybody reliable enough to actually handle that. So that's my theory, and again, it's a conspiracy, but
Yeah, I mean, we don't know, but I mean, I get that, and that makes more sense as to why you'd all of a sudden have this thing saying we don't ship it to Canada if
well,
they
not
don't
just
have a
Canada,
clear carrier. Well,
anywhere,
internationally, sure, sure,
anywhere.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. Depends on who's transporting the stuff to us here in the U.S. too, if it's the same
Yeah.
carrier. I don't
I,
even know. Do you know who was carrying it here? Have you heard from
even if I
Jay
did,
or anybody else?
even if I did, I wouldn't say it, because
Oh,
I'm not.
well,
I'm not at that stage where because I never haven't received mine yet, right? I haven't received
yeah.
even though mine's still going within the United States, I'm going to go pick it up, but I haven't received mine yet, right? So
Mhm.
I don't want to be accusatory and say yeah USPS or yeah
Sure, sure, sure.
UPS or yeah FedEx or blah blah blah. I don't want to
Well,
do that right now because I don't know, right?
yeah.
There
Well,
are a lot of
the
people
thing
who
is, the only thing I'll say to that is, I mean, sure, maybe if there's some sort of uh, current dispute between whoever the carrier was, if they had a contract to carry all of Mattel's stuff internationally, if there's some sort of dispute currently in progress, then okay, fair enough. But the issue is, well, I don't know. The reality is they've shipped Mattel collector single figs, right? Internationally before with no problem. So, it's not like they couldn't just say, okay, well, I don't know. I'm not, it's just, I know it's just a theory, but why not just continue with Snout Spout? We're talking one figure that's smaller than Lady Slither and probably about the size of Vicron. So, anyway, neither here nor there, because really, I think I hear your hypothesis. We don't know. I hope ultimately it gets sorted out, though, because you're right, man. So much. I don't know the numbers, but just based on, groups and some of the diehards of Motu, there's a lot of international fans. We know this. So it seems really weird to say, hey, we're going to offer this great figure that's not going to be available at retail, but you can not count on ever seeing it. So I don't know. It's not a good way to build up a brand. It's not a good way to, get your diehard loyal fans internationally to sort of be happy with what you're doing, Mattel. So hope you sort it out soon.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful myself that that things will resolve themselves as soon as possible. Let's take a quick second break and say hi to the
Yes.
chat, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of great people here in the
Yep.
chat. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We started late because partly because of me, because I just came back from Dune
I was
Part
gonna
Two.
say I didn't want to say your business, but
Yeah,
I
man,
want
no,
to talk about it
I just came
because
back from Dune 2, and I
okay.
am stoked. I am stoked. Um, a little bit of direct, like not to spoil the movie, but some shock, some surprises at the end, some very interesting surprises, and I'm very interested in seeing where it goes from here. But I for pretty much the two movies that I've watched, I am absolutely impressed. I am loving the way it is. I was in love with with the first version of Dune, and people hated it, but I loved it.
David Lynch.
Yeah, the David Lynch version, I loved. Yeah, that's right.
The
Yeah,
movie got me to buy McFarlane
yeah.
figures.
You know what? Say what you will
No, I
about
have
Toddy.
several McFarlane figures.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
teasing.
But
Yeah.
I collected all the Toddy Mac Dune figures, and the ones that these ones look better though. These ones look badass. Like
Agreed. Like
seriously.
part two, that's why I jumped
Yeah,
in on these. The
yeah.
sculpts on these are
Oh yeah, yeah. The head
fantastic.
sculpts, 100%. I'm gonna jump in on them when they start, dropping in price. But they do look. Oh, Fade. Yeah, man.
In his
Honestly,
in
some really
his
great scenes. Some
hairless
really great.
goodness right there.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was pulled out. I was pulled out of the movie by Hatter.
Oh,
It was so bad.
pulled
I
out of the
missed.
movie.
I missed the Fade Rafa fight, and
You chose to answer that call, man. Don't answer the phone.
well, you know what? I wouldn't have if it wasn't
Uh-huh.
for something we're planning to announce tomorrow.
Okay,
But
fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
wink, wink. So lots of great things coming for Flipboard. But let's say hi to everybody who's in the chat right now.
Yes, do it.
Toy Geeksaurus, what's going on, my friend? How you doing tonight? It's good to see you. You can keep flashing those things up, Rick, if you want.
I'm just soft goods, baby. Go ahead.
Ryan Lay, Toy Mania Collects. Always good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you, brother. Shao Kahn, the greatest emperor. What's going on, my friend? Brownie Jacob, G, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight? No chewing. No chewing is in the house. What's going on? No chewing, brother. If you want to jump on with us and talk toys, I mean, like we got some great toy photographers right here. No chewing. If you guys haven't already, definitely follow No Chewing on Instagram. Great, and they have a channel as well. But it's I think it's the Toy Daddies or something like that. Definitely check these guys out. Give them a like and a follow. Tell them Jay sent you. Brother, drop me a line on Instagram if you wanna hop on tonight.
Do it.
Would love to have you.
Saw
Let
him
me
on
just,
Chat Migos the other day.
yeah, let me see. I'll just drop it in there for him regardless. Let's see if he wants to come in. He's probably too busy anyway, but we'll try to get him in here for a second. Let's see. No chewing. There he is. All right, we'll just send him a quick message and see if he wants to join us. We'll see. We were hoping to have Adam here tonight to talk a little bit, but he is completely much like Hatter. Much like Hatter, this campaign is wiping everybody out. Like it's crazy. If you guys have never run a campaign for Kickstarter, don't. No, I'm just kidding. But be prepared. Be prepared to have some sleepless nights. Andrew Davis, let's get ready to rumble. What's going on, Andrew? How you doing? Always good to see Andrew Davis. Nolan's in the house. Always good to see Nolan. Mr. Vice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey Jay,
11,
big shout out from New
12.
Zealand. Great to see you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Always great to see international viewers. Shao Kahn, the greatest emperor. Always good to see Shao Kahn. DJ 5000, just back Flipboard. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Some dude named Brick something. Always good to see Brick.
Hell yeah.
Rhea Black is in the house. What's going on, my friend?
Hey,
Always
Rick.
good to see Rhea. Congrats on the Jay. Congrats, Jay, on the success of Flipboard. I decided to get one and hop on the train and back. With my first crowdfunded project of any kind, bring on Flipboard. Thank you, Ryan. I met Ryan multiple times in conventions. Always a great guy. Brownie Jacob, over 117,000 Unreal. Brother, you have no, I have, like, seriously, I'm still beside myself. I'm still beside myself. Old IT guys in the house. Good to see you, brother. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. G. Zambrano. The speed at which it got funded was insane. Pleasant surprise. I still don't understand it myself. I still don't. It's an absolute shock. Hal Jordan, Jay, Brick, what's up, boys? Not much, brother. How are you doing, Hal? You're the color yellow does not suit you, my friend. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Clint Jorgensen, Mr. Late Night, thought you forgot about us. No, I never forget about you guys. I never forget about you guys. I just wanted to prove that this is not, just me here. Brick's here. A lot of people are doing their thing.
Jay's fresh from a 2-hour and 45-minute movie. So
Jay's never fresh, man. Jay is exhausted. Jay is exhausted, like so badly.
You need some spice. You
Jay
need
is
some
always
spice.
Mythic Dolphin, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight? Clint Jorgensen, G.I. Joe Classified is going to repeat as the line of the year. Mondo, Motu, or X-Men could give it a run. You know what? I got some thoughts, and we're gonna talk about G.I. Joe Classified in a bit, because their last offering, you know what? Not the reveals that they just did, but what's happening with Collector Con or whatever the heck it is, for Walmart, was not happy. Fish Tropic Canada. Canada is the boot of the world these days. Well, our dollar is really crappy. I'll tell you. I was looking. I thought at one point I was looking at Kickstarter in Canadian dollars, and I thought we had hit our goal in like 2 days. I was like, what the hell? And I was actually. I was deceived. I was deceived. Allison Troy's in the house, pulling you for the watch time. Thank you so much, Allison. Always good to see Allison. Guys, if you haven't already, definitely hit up Allison Troy on YouTube. Always good to see her. Hal Jordan, Mattel better induct international shipping or Snapshot, because I know that he's got it backlit. I lead those out. Yes, the backlit eyes. I just shined them in the back, and all of a sudden it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Rodimus Prime, oh my god. Yes. Rest in peace. Akira Toriyama. I know what's going to be at Anime. I know the cosplays that are going to be at Anime Expo this year.
Oof.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
A legend, a giant has passed by, and the world
68, man.
The world will never be the same, bro. So young.
Yeah.
So young. I mean, you look at him, like you actually look at Akira Toriyama, he doesn't look that old, man. Like he was full of energy, great, right back into the spirit of things. He's always been a fun guy. My condolences to everybody, and of course his family. Crazy. We've lost a legend, guys. We lost a legend.
Toriyama-san.
You only do villains, Hal Jordan? Interesting. But the Huntress might not be happy with that. Alison Troy, the retro toy princess. I guess Alison's got two accounts going. Is that what's happening? Good to see you, Alison. Always good to see you. Let's see here. Who said hi to yet? Oh, King Panther. What's going on, Noel? Mr. J, I hope the shipping from Mattel gets rectified before the launch date for Snout Spout. Support the love from Chicago. I can't wait for C2E2 2024. I was at C2E2 years ago. It was a really wonderful convention. It was at the Rose Bowl Convention Center. I think it's been ages.
You went to the Rose Bowl Convention Center? Is that what I hear?
Yes, I think
that's where my parents live, in Pasadena.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's a really nice place. I was I actually saw Tommy. Believe it or not, I saw Tommy Tallarico's video games live there, which was hilarious. It was funny as hell. Now he's known for something completely different. But anyway, Hal Jordan, why would he care about toys being shipped up here? I care. I live up here. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Who is he talking about?
That's a good
Hal, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Guy Gardner? Doesn't care.
What's funny here? I don't follow politics, so I have no idea what the bill. What?
Oh, it might have been about. Yeah, there was some stuff up there about.
Okay, sure. You know what? We try not to do politics in anything I do, so I'm just gonna pass on by from that one. Tony Figs. Always good to see Tony. Thanks for dropping by, brother. Good to see you,
Tony.
He's here. He's here courtesy of Brick. Brick's a lot of Brick supporters here. Cobweb Collector being one of them. What's up, Cobb? Always good to see Cobb. Guys, Cobb just dropped an amazing video right now with Stratos and Merman. You guys should definitely check out Cobb's
It's
video, and
Filmation.
it's freaking sweet. Honestly, just picked up the cartoon collection. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I'm probably gonna do a review on it, and be sending people to Cobb's. Guys, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to Cobweb Collector.
Yep.
Wonderful channel, absolutely.
God.
Let's see. Anybody else I haven't said hi to? Hal's just the killing it right now. Good luck to wherever you go. Ha ha ha. I don't know what else to say. All right, Hal. You're having your side conversations, I'm pretty sure. Anybody else that we haven't said hi to? Ah, Mike's in the house. Tiberian Hanger, Matt Hatter is a baller of all ballers. Mike, would love to get on with you, brother, or would love to hear your thoughts on the campaign. Not only not only the Flipboard campaign, but what you think about Spero Toys and Warriors of the Kingdom. And again, Mike, open invitation. If you want to come on right now, we can talk toys. Let me know. I can send you the link. Always great to see Mike in the house. Great to see, guys. If you haven't already, definitely check out Tidarium Hanger. I think he's about to hit 20,000 subscribers. So or if he hasn't already passed it, definitely check out Tidarium Hanger, guys. Wonderful channel. Nolan, good to see you. Helian Dread is in the house. 15th, Lord Grasp, Terror, and Mutated Mobsman. I was just about to get to that. You spoiler, you. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, guys. Let's see here. Tidarium Hanger. I might have to go in on it just for the middle fingers at Hasbro and Demand. Thank you, Tidarium Hanger. Always great to see. Always great to see Mike. Nolan Collects. Sup, folks? What's going on, Nolan? Another wonderful toy tuber. Definitely check out Nolan Collects. Huge Four Horsemen fan. If you guys haven't already checked out Nolan Collects on Instagram, definitely check him out. He loves it. He loves his Four Horsemen. Let's see here. Obi-Wan. Hey Jay, congrats to you and Hatter. Brick, love seeing you there. Yes, always great to see Brick in the house. Thank you, my dudes, jumping over. There you go, brother. Good to see him. Let's see here. Anybody else? Man, the chat's just hopping. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Oh, Bernie Lomax. Oh, wait, first. Primate 76. What's going on, Primate? Always good to see you, brother. All the way in Germany. Thank you. Good to see you, Primate. It's a very good morning to you. Of course, to Brick and chat. Bernie Lomax. Hello all. Nolan as well. Been so busy lately around the world. 80 days, I feel like. I hope you get some rest, Bernie. If you're traveling, that's always a rough thing to do. Preppy 1982.
Especially if you're a corpse. Sorry.
All over the world, man. I wonder how he hasn't decayed after all this time. You know what I mean?
Preppy 80s magic.
Preppy 1982. What's up, Jay and Brick? Glad to hear you guys. Glad to hear you guys talk toys. Yes, always glad to see you, Preppy. Jimmy Rizzo. Always good to see you guys. That talk down and not give people a chance. What? Always good to see guys that talk down to people and to give people. Okay, Rizzo. I'm not sure. I think it's a little back. See, I'm kind of anyway.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
All good. Yeah. Good to see you, Jimmy.
Good to see you, Justin Mohan. What's going on, brother? Always good to see Justin in the chat. Lord Hoagie is in the chat. Let's see here. Anybody else? What the heck is this, Jimmy? Do you want to jump on, Jimmy? Is that what you're asking for? I mean, don't really know. Okay, goodbye. Bye, Jimmy. I don't know what happened. What's going on here? I guess he wants to post the join link. No, Jimmy, I was inviting another toy tuber.
You're good.
Not sure what you're trying to get at there, Jimmy. Anyway, just one hand. Brick. Where does the Brick something come from? Is there some meaning behind the name? Brick. What's the meaning?
So like I'm a big Lego guy, and I was really engaged in what we call the AFO. I love the way that sounds. Adult fan of Lego community. And so I was making stuff. I was making shirts and doing the whole Lego thing. And so if you follow any like third-party Lego custom stuff, it's like Brick Forge, Brick Armory, Brick Warrior, and all sorts of other brick something. And there you go. Because that's how I was. I was just like, I'm Brick something good enough. And so that's where the name came from. And I've been using it to talk toys, whether it's Lego and other stuff for a while. And it's just kind of, you're sitting there trying to figure out what's the best name for a channel. Meh. And so the Lego stuff is still there. But I've kind of been infatuated with 112/110 action figures. So I can't afford to do it all. Lego's expensive, but anyway, that's where it comes from. And yes, there's maybe some Pink Floyd references in there too, as some people have pointed out.
Lego's expensive. Not like any of those other toys are.
No, it's true. But I've said this before, man. As a Lego collector for the longest time, when I switched to even buying Four Horsemen, people are like, those are expensive figures. And they are. But if you're coming from being a Lego collector and you move into these figures, you actually get reverse sticker shock. So it felt kind of pretty good.
You know what? The sets behind you are dang expensive.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even kidding. It's just like, oh man, is that what a figure is? Okay.
Might as well. I can get
I've seen people
4 of these for one
I've
set.
seen people spend hundreds of dollars on like a couple of minifigures. So Lego minifigs. So, I'm happy to get these larger chunks of plastic.
100%. 100%. Down south 77. What up, Jay? And break something in chat. Good to see you down south. How you doing tonight? We're almost there. Chris Allen, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Justin, why is there no YouTube channel dedicated to indie toys? I think there are enough. There are a bunch of them. There are a bunch of. I mean, like you're looking at one right here.
Not dedicated. I mean, I do a bunch of stuff, but there's a lot.
He does.
Most of what I do is around that, just because that's kind of where I'm at, and yeah,
100%. Tighter Hanger Jay, I'm working on something for tomorrow that's a complete 180 and might shape my future content. Brother, you want to talk about it? We'll talk about it now. Guys, definitely check out Tidarium Hanger. And if his new content works, definitely get on the front page, because the man is doing his stuff. G Zambrano, he done goofed. Report him to the internet police. No, that's okay. He's actually gone. So I don't really care. I don't know what he was hoping for. I really have no idea what he was hoping for.
It was hard to decipher.
I've had an open mic night. That was a mistake.
Nope.
A lot of deep pics showed up there, man. It was a bad scene. Bad scene. Easy way to get your channel shut down. Justin Mohan, yes, Legos are expensive, bro. Legos are expensive. Ryan, Legos a whole nother level. You can't get a decent set for less than 400 now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild right now.
That is crazy.
So,
oh my gosh. Lar A, Tardem Hanger, complete 180. So instead of collecting early line, you'll be giving away every line. That's hilarious. Lar, you're funny, man. You were funny. Mr. Vice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fine if Mattel doesn't want to post Motu outside the US. Mattel should sell to BBTS to accommodate the overseas customers. You know what? That's actually not bad. Seriously,
yeah,
it is. But then again, you know what? I don't really want. I got a love-hate relationship with BBTS. Their inflated pricing sometimes just kills me, and it's crazy. Jason Brown, that Y-wing looks amazing. It does. That Y-wing looks
There's cool. That one. There is the
yellow one,
and then over here we've got the.
That was crazy. Holy crap!
Yeah, there's no shortage of Y-wings. They're beautiful ships.
That is crazy. Bernie Lomax. So I just want to go through this out there, as a few people ago got invited to private screenings to games, and 2 games that pop up on lists that were Motu and new G.I. Joe game, not in the 2024 release one. Brother, could you elaborate on? Yeah,
sure.
Could you elaborate on that? I am completely in the dark on that, and I am everything Motu. So I know there's a board game out there. I know that they had it's very much like a Risk type of game, but I really need to know what you're talking about, because that and G.I. Joe to boot, dude. Like, spill. Come on. Dish. We want a dish. Let us know, Bernie. And again, Bernie, how do you get around so quickly? I mean, like, you're a freaking corpse. Anyway, Lar A, near every line, absolutely. Speaking moistly, maybe that dude was drunk. I don't know. He really wanted to get in here, so he had something to say. Jira, a 2 a.m. open mic, maybe booze and karaoke. It's possible. It is possible. But like I said, not doing that again. That was not good. That was not good. Just a moment. Any news on Flipboard stretch goals? Yeah, maybe soon, Justin. Wink. Stay tuned tomorrow. Lots of things coming up. I'm not at liberty. I'm not at liberty to reveal that just now. Do you think Jason from Spero will add the reptilian character to the Bruiser class? That is a question for Mr. Break Something.
So this Kickstarter is the reason they're doing a Kickstarter, which is a question a lot of people ask, is if you take a look at what's being offered here and you're familiar with the line, we're basically getting 4 new bucks in this. So far we've had the original buck. Give me a second. We've had, this is essentially the standard figure that we've gotten, as well as the sort of the big hulking gorilla. So in this new one, just to kind of get these figures out a little bit more quickly, they Spero, Jason, and company decided, let's make this faster. We've got all sorts of ideas for characters that we want to put in people's hands. And so if you're taking a look at what Jay's showing you, he's already passed the first buck, which is the lizard buck, which you referred to. There was the bruiser buck, the brawler buck, the bigger dudes, the Hannibal, and actually, would you mind going up, Jay? Sorry, let's go back and talk through it. You're controlling that, right? Yeah. Scroll back up. Maybe you can't hear me. And so then there's the women, the female buck. I think there's the rogue buck. My bad. And then the final one is the assassin. So no, the speedster. God, sorry, it's late. So what you're seeing right there is, if you're familiar with how action figures are made, right? If we go back to, we're talking Motu, right? Masters of the Universe was essentially the same body for the longest time until we got to like much later, and we got things like the Rock-Ons and the Two-Bads. But for the most part, it was He-Man's body painted blue with a couple of different arm parts, etc. And so they wanted to make new characters. So to answer your question about, hey, do you think Jason will ever do reptile characters to the sort of brawler class, which is what you're seeing right here? The problem with that is it would actually require a lot more tooling, because if you'll notice, this is the brawler. There's a Kali, which is a giant gorilla. Yeah. And then what's the third one? Oh, the dog. Grimes. And so they all have fur. That's what I'm trying to get at. And so making a lizard in that scale would actually require a whole new set of tooling. So that's not something that'll happen. Obviously not. You can't, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not something that you can easily do with these parts that they're trying to push out by raising money. But in the future, who knows? I think he's always been sort of open to doing different things. But what I do know is that he already has a ton of different characters sort of in his brain in the pipeline, as well as, like, a lot of people sadly don't know that there's an amazing comic book that's tells a story of these animal warriors of the kingdom. And, that's how Jason started, right? He had this idea. He started with a graphic novel, and then essentially was like, hey, I want to make action figures. And then he wanted to redesign the line completely, and he redesigned the comic book and worked with Utama Prasta artists to kind of redesign his characters. And that's what we're seeing here. And so I think he's got plans for a ton of characters. And I think the idea of making a brand new buck, a larger lizard, is probably not something that's going to happen super soon. So hope that helps you understand the logic behind it. But yeah, if you take a look at all these things that Jay's showing here, there's a lot going on in this. I don't know. For me, at least, it's not super fun watching streams when people kind of go through every single thing, because at the end of the day, we could all go through Kickstarter. But as far as just, if I could just give you the big picture, man, we're talking potentially 19 figures being unlocked, a ton of weapons and accessory packs, and a couple of alternate head packs that haven't been shown yet. So I don't know if there's anything specific y'all want to see, or Jay, anything that's catching your eye that you want to talk
I'm
about. I'm
I'm
down.
very excited about the female figures
Yeah.
in particular because you know what here's the funny thing about action figures, guys. Here's the fun, and you know what, I've heard this multiple times. Um, uh, Fun fact, actually maybe
Mhm.
not so fun, but interesting fact.
Dose of reality.
Did you I know you're well, Brick knows where I'm coming from this, but um, uh, female figures are traditionally the worst selling figures in a line. Don't know why. Have no idea, but I do know that there's a sentiment that people, particularly, and I don't want to center anybody. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that. But there is some sort of, I guess, feeling out there that female figures are dolls. And I don't know where that sentiment came from, but I've heard that more than once said by multiple different fans who say I don't collect female figures because those are like playing with dolls. I don't understand where that comes from, but maybe it was just back in the day when people were ingrained with boys don't play with dolls, and you know, girls toys are, you know, girls figures are only for girls. You know, I think that probably came from way back when, but I love the way these female figures are looking right now, and with the new articulation that's coming out of guys like Spiro. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
their book is absolutely unique. It's something that no one else has done, and I really am really appreciating these new characters that they're bringing out. I mean, you know, foxes, rabbits, you know, more simians. You know what I mean? More. I guess she's a puma or something like that, right? Like a lot more felines. Like and now you know these big bruiser dogs. You know, it's a wonderful exploration into the comic and where they're going with it. And then of course you got these big guys. But I totally get where Brick is coming from. You know,
Yeah.
we've gone through this exercise with Flipboard, um, and yeah, coming up with an entirely new tooling. You guys have no idea how expensive that is.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
it
sure you're
is.
getting such an education right now
Oh
to
my
be able
god.
to peek behind the curtain.
Oh my god. Like
Yeah, I
honestly,
mean, I look at your campaign and yours and Hatter's campaign and Ace, and I totally get why, there's some reuse of parts, and then maybe, the bot head, and you managed to get that dope the captcha
oh
in there, which is a completely new separately tooled piece. And that's the thing. These are everything costs money, and it's a huge risk. I get it for any toy company to like, hey, we're gonna make a toy. And so that's with the whole AWOC thing, man. Even I reacted at first. I was like, wait, you're doing a Kickstarter again? And but again, when I heard what all was going to be in there, 4 brand new body types that you're seeing there. um yeah. Could you take out Justin's comment? You could check out the
check out
full
Justin's
video.
comment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
God, I
sorry.
love those dios too, man. Those dios bring me back, because those were what were used for the photography for the initial campaign back in the day. Yeah, you see all the things that are here, and there's we basically would have been waiting years to get some of those characters, if they didn't go in with a Kickstarter now and try and raise the capital to like move this. And the other piece of this is that, um so if you've been following the line, they released a figure that is already in production called the Void, and it is using the Brawler Buck, which means that yes. So if you're wondering, so for the amount of money, I think they're only trying to raise only 99,000, and that's not going to cover tooling for 4 new bucks. What that really is going to
No.
help do
No
is
way.
push 2 of those bucks forward. The Brawler Buck is already essentially paid for. So if you're thinking like, oh my God, what's Jason doing with all that money that he spent it all? So now it's like, no, he actually has taken a good chunk of that money and has already started all the production and the movement on one of those bucks. That's going to be coming sooner. And potentially even 2. I'm forgetting sort of exactly what all is getting worked in at what time. So work's happening, but to speed it up and to be able to be like, hey, we want to do a wave of figures or 2 waves of figures that have a little bit more variety in them. Like, we love our figures, we love these guys, but we also know that, it's one of those things where people are like, these are great, we love them, they're exciting. And then of course it's like, but they all have the same body and like, we need something different. And so the response is, okay, great, let's do the bigger buck. And then it's like, well, we want more, we want more, we want more. You gave us gorilla, give us more. And so I get trying to balance that all. And ultimately, this is where they landed. So
Okay, so let's, you know what? Let's you know what, Brick,
what you got?
between the two of us, let's go ahead and give everybody a quick education about what's going on behind the scenes here, just really quickly.
Sure.
So I'm not going to give exact pricing, but let's just say this: um, there's a reason why the Flipboard campaign was asking $100,000,
Mhm.
and I am actually completely blown away that Spero Toys is asking only 99,000
Yeah.
for 4 brand new body types. That
Yeah.
knowing what I know now.
That might be confusing to people.
Yeah.
You're right, because it might send people the wrong message. So
No,
I'm glad you're
no,
educating.
knowing what I know now,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Like even way back when I had a kind of idea, because I come from the printing industry, I know what it costs to actually make new tool and dies for printing, right? For molds for certain things, right? I had an idea. I had absolutely no freaking idea. I got to be careful with that now. I made them. In a celebratory mistake. Let me give you guys another little quick tip here before we move on. Uh, if you ever have a channel and you make it your business not to swear on your channel, keep that up, because I made the mistake on my last video celebrating the 100,000, crossing over 100,000 on that on Flipboard, and I was just swearing like a sailor that night because I was just I broke my rule, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna swear like crazy because I'm so happy. Yeah, that monetization on that just went out the window. Okay, so watch out, just watch out. Okay, so anyway, moving on. We are barely making ends meet with Flipboard on 100,000. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, think about that. Think
Yeah. Yeah.
about what I
Yeah.
just said. We are barely making like the rent money, okay,
Yeah.
on what we need to cover our costs with that 100,000 for Flipboard.
Yeah.
Uh, and we are so happy. Okay, I'm going to say it this way: we are absolutely thrilled that people continue to back us after the 100,000, because that money is going to make it possible for more champions of Neferity to be possible. All right.
Mhm.
And the fact that this campaign right here, is managing on 99,000, that is blowing my mind. I cannot believe. Here's what I will tell you. I will go out on record right now and tell you that that tooling, the cost of this on the tooling, that 99,000 is
Mhm.
only going to pay for one and a half of these figures. If
Mhm.
Even if that's, and you guys can try to do the math yourself, but it's only ever going to probably pay for one and a half figures. Maybe, I'm pretty sure it's only going to make it for that big guy.
Yep.
That, I think, is the only thing. The rest of it's coming out of Spiro's pockets. Okay, so if you guys are thinking that Jason is pocketing this, hell no.
And
Okay,
again, we're not
hell no.
saying that, and no one's really like accused them of that. It's just, I think things are out there and people want to know. And I understood it, because people are like, why are they doing Kickstarter? I
I see
remember,
comments all the time. I see
yeah,
comments all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
Aren't
I
you
see
an
comments.
established line?
I
Why
see
aren't you,
all the time. I see comments all the time. It's like,
yeah,
why do you need more money? What,
yeah,
why do they like? Okay, so here's, I'm gonna complain about this in a bit, but I will actually acknowledge this. I keep seeing comments like, oh, why are they always reusing parts at Hasbro? Well, this Marvel character is using this part, and this Marvel character is using that part. Let me tell you, for a company as big because a lot of people are like, oh, Hasbro's such a huge thing, why don't they just keep making tool after tool after tool after tool? You know what? There's no money in that. There's no money in creating tool after tool after tool
yeah.
after tool. If you can
It's
creatively reuse parts and people still appreciate it and still, look at it and say, hey, that's pretty good, right?
Yep.
If you can cover up a figure with armor and give them a suit or something like that to actually create smaller little tool things, trust me, you're doing it right. Knowing what I know now compared to what I thought I knew before, this is a whole different game, everybody. Like this is
Yeah.
and I once again, my round of applause to Spero Toys for making this happen. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the kind of like they're looking for those stretch goals. You know what I mean? And they need them,
Okay,
right?
so now
So
this is why I'm here, Jay. Not so one like unlike so I do AWOC talk with Adam from Highly Articulated, who has taken more of a role in Spiro. Like I'm not like I'm gonna help them out if they have a convention locally or whatever, or if they want to send me to a convention. I would love to go and rep AWOC and talk to people and sell stuff, at the conventions and stuff. I just want to make that clear. No skin in the game. So I have to back like everyone else. And I'm looking at those figures, and I wish I could look at those figures and everything that's offered and go like, oh, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. But there's something inside of me that's making it hard for me to cut things out. But they have this epic all in. And so the epic all in, it's going to sound crazy, but the epic all in is $690. I don't know if you can scroll down to sort of the add-ons and the packages. The epic all in will get you everything that you're seeing offered now, including everything that eventually gets unlocked. But it all has to be unlocked first. So I'm very much interested in that epic all-in for a number of reasons. Number one, I like everything they've shown. There's probably 2 or 3 that I could walk away from and be like, I'm cool. But when I do the math on the figures that I do want, it's approaching that same cost of that epic all in. If you read that epic all in says $650, but to ship to me to California, it'll be another $40. So it's $690. But if you add up everything, as you see it said there real quick before you scroll down, the retail value for everything that you get for that $690 is $991. And so if you're really into the line, which I am, I'm like, wow, no, I can't do it right now, which is great. I get it. I mean, that's the reality for a lot of people. But if you can, you're looking at potentially saving almost, more than $300. And so, at least that's the excuse I'm using here to explain to the family. It's like, well, you want us to save money, right? But no, I think so. My selfish thing about coming on here and on my channel and telling people is like, listen, I want everything unlocked. I think it's 250,000 is the all in, and their campaign is going longer than normal. I think usually people do 30 days. I think they went 40 some days. So it ends just right after tax day. So maybe if you get a tax break, you want to throw in some money, you can still throw it in. I think it ends April 18th, if that's right. But anyway, I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people. They're like, hey man, these figures are cool, Brick, but they're not that cool. Fine, I get it. But there's deals to be had here as well. But I'll be honest, like they're not as sweet as some of the, the bigger, more figures you back, the better the deal you get.
yeah, we've been getting a lot of comments
Yeah, with Flipboard, right?
on Flipboard. A lot of people are saying, "Where's the all-in pack? Where's the all-in?" We didn't even
Right.
know what that was.
Right.
Sorry, this is our sorry guys. This is our
That's your
first time.
first time.
This is our first time at the rodeo, so
Yeah.
we're brand new. I mean, we have advisors, right? Gilly does comics. He's done his own successful Kickstarters, but
Mhm.
he's never had anything like this, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
where he needed to actually create an all-in pack. So for us, we never we're looking into it now. The problem is that it's very difficult at this stage. We're already well into the campaign, and
Yeah.
to actually add an all-in pack
Yep. Yep.
now, it will confuse and anger a lot of people who are already all in on multiple things, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
at this stage, it's just wiser and probably less headache not to do it. So anybody listening and who's interested in all in pack, it's one of those things where we're erring on the side of caution now, just saying, guys, please, all the add-ons are there. Please just like there's no special bundle anyway. We don't put them in like different packaging for you. So I
Mhm.
mean, like I know a lot of people are like, I just don't want to bother. I just want to boom. I just want to have one click and we're done, right?
Yep, yep.
But it's not as simple as that. The Kickstarter system, is nice that it is. It's freaking hard to use. I don't know if anybody's actually done a Kickstarter, but in the middle of a campaign, when you want to put something new in, like an unlock or something like that, it is freaking hard. Like the system is not friendly.
Yeah.
And you run the risk multiple times of basically like making mistakes, and all of a sudden, like you could edit the one of the already existing packages, and all of a sudden something changes and people start freaking out. So like this type of campaign is already difficult as it is. So making snap changes like that in the middle of a campaign are just not advised. I'll say that. Like learning what I am learning now,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough, right?
And definitely learn, like you said, this is your first time on the rodeo. This is my, I'm not in it, so I'm just learning from people and watching you all. But Jason, this is not Jason's first time at the rodeo. There was the graphic novel, there was the first action figure line, the 3 3/4, and then these. So when this scale figure came out, that first wave, those first two waves, man, they were inundated. They hit their goals so fast. And then people were like, give us more, give us more, give us more. And that's why you ended up having things like the heads packs and the primal ancients, basically the basic buck without armor. And those were all like snap decisions. Those were not things that they were planning on doing. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Your suspicions are 100% right. I've heard they are not easy to throw in there. And then at the end of the day, I'm sure you all, since you're working with Ace, like, he's got you, and he's helping you think through everything.
Oh God, if it
But for
wasn't for me,
Jason,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But for Jason, that first time, I know a lot of people, there was definitely some mess after when those first two waves finally arrived in terms of fulfillment. And because, you're thinking, I'm designing these things, I'm making these things. You're not necessarily thinking about, okay, what happens when giant shipping containers
Yeah, so
arrive
it's
and you have
interesting
to,
how how you can say that.
yeah.
We started this a year and a half ago,
Uh-huh.
right? On Flipboard, and a year and a half ago, we were like, all right, great, we're gonna set a goal of 60,000. We're gonna do good. We're gonna freaking this, and then you know what? We got Gilly on board, and he's like, what's going on with it? Like, what about the taxes? We're like,
Yeah.
taxes? What are taxes, right? And then he's like, yeah, what are like, you gotta remember about the taxes. And we're like, oh shit, taxes, right? And then he said, yeah, and you do know that Kickstarter takes a fee. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
crap, Kickstarter takes a fee. And then he said, yeah, and then how are you gonna ship these other things around the world? We're like, shipping? Right? Again, we were
Sorry, that makes me laugh because of the first conversation around Mattel not shipping internationally. But yes,
yeah, I mean, like
it's no easy thing.
we're bright, we're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, little
Yeah.
little kids, man. Like we don't know what the heck we're doing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So then that one conversation led into another and another,
Yep.
and it ended up being like, like really quickly. The team that we have now, where we are at this stage, is we're so fortunate. We're so fortunate to have the people who we were able to find and integrate into the team as it is. Because if it wasn't for everybody's unique expertise on certain aspects, we would not be where we are now. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Arguably, Mad Hatter is the antithesis. He is the whole center of this universe. It's true, but you know what? We follow him into this nether region that no one, like, this is a rabbit hole which we all jumped into, and then basically the rest of us have to support his creativity, right? That's what the team is supposed to do. We follow the leader, and basically something comes up, then we say, okay, react, because if we don't react fast enough, things can go wild, just go wild. If anybody was watching the live stream for Mad Hatter on the launch of Flipboard, things were coming in fast and furious. People were making orders. Things were happening, right? And while things were happening, all of a sudden people were asking questions. And a lot of questions that were coming in is like, I can only order one piece. Why is that? And all of us are like, what's going on?
Yeah.
How come people are only ordering one piece? And then people are asking, there's no add-ons. And I'm looking at everybody's like, what's an add-on? Right, right.
Mhm.
And people are like, and then Gilly said, oh no, add-ons. And we realized we hadn't created add-ons.
Yeah.
So again, we're all scrambling,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
we're trying to fix this on the fly. It's a fascinating story. One of these days, when I have a chance, I'm going to put together a video of everything that happened during the course of this campaign,
No,
the
I'm sure it's
pitfalls,
going to be an
ev-
amazing
everything.
story. Yeah.
And you know what? It's because right now it's too there's too many things on the back burner that I can't talk about at all. But when
Ooh.
I'm able to talk about what happened, I think it's going to be one of those things where you literally like this, like you can't. Reality is stranger than fiction. Reality is stranger than fiction. You probably won't believe half the crap I talk about. You know,
Mhm.
when it comes out, but it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, you know, it's just an incredible learning experience. Everything that's happened so far, which is why I tip my hat to Spero Toys. Like what they're doing right now, and everyone. And again, I'm going back to it. They're only asking for 99,000. Holy crap!
Yep.
Okay, holy crap. I am saying right now, guys, that is not enough money. Okay? For this collection right here, that's pure insanity. For what for this is easily 3 times or even 4 times that. All right? And no profit on that.
Yep.
Think about what I just said. Okay? What they're asking for, they need 4 times that, no profit on top, like with that amount of money.
Yeah, that's the
I'm not
thing.
joking. I'm not
That's
joking.
so you mentioned it earlier. The idea is you said there's no money in creating new tooling. Like if you're a big company like Hasbro, Mattel, the reason you don't see them just jumping every couple of months to create brand new tooling is because it's essentially a long-term investment. If you're going to do that, you're putting money down because your hope is that you're going to be getting money from that down the road by reusing that thing and making that money. So my point in saying that is, well, two things. Sometimes I do wonder what the long-term vision is of these larger corporations, because let's be real, they've got plenty of we've heard time and time again where they get the bulk of their revenue, and it's not necessarily in the action figures that we all might love. They have other things going on. And with that said, it's harder for them to go like, hey, let's invest in new tooling that we're going to recoup in about 4 years. I say that now because what you're hearing is a tiny indie company that is investing a crap ton of money into 4 new bucks. That should give you a sense of like what Jason wants to do with this line. He wants it. He's in it for the long haul. This is his baby. This is like his creative dream that like has caught on, and he wants to give us more and hopefully eventually recoup that cost. And so think about that. Just it's exciting. And there are folks in the chat. One, you've let your amazing chat get away from you again. I know that that's hard on you, but there was a question in there about they're saying, hey, let's unlock everything so we can see what these figures look like. The nice thing again about Jason is that, well, sometimes people in Spero are like, dude, stop talking. But man, he's an artist and he wants to share his stuff. And so he's actually had a lot of these designs out there. They've been out for a while. In fact, part of why I wanted to start the channel and do some of the videos is that I wanted to talk about, like you said, my channel is largely indie toys, is because I just wasn't seeing enough out there about the things that I wanted to talk about. It's like, hey, I want to talk about this thing. So when AWOC's Kickstarter was up, man, there were just a handful of videos, people talking about AWOC. And that's actually how I ended up meeting Adam from Highly Articulated. And so most people don't realize that a lot of concept art and a lot of ideas for what's coming now has already kind of been out there for a long time. So Jay, if you wouldn't mind, in the private chat, I put a link, and it's not a big reveal because it's more of a like, hey, most people missed it, but this has been out there for a while. And right now, if you're looking at that last thing that's supposed to be unlocked, it's Raving the Raven. And this is that concept art. And I've asked Jason, and he was just on Toy Addicts 26 on their podcast, and confirmed, like, yeah, pretty much it's gonna look like that. Like, he's not shy about it. He doesn't, part of it's the Kickstarter and the reveal of it all and wanting to get people to be curious. But like, if you've got art this cool and ideas this cool, like, sometimes you're like, well, why are we hiding it? If anything, maybe that'll make people want to get this figure. And this will be the very first, if unlocked. I think we got to get to 250,000. If unlocked, this will be the very first Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figure with the sweet, sweet soft goods. And for the soft goods, he's trying to work with Harker Studios, who makes amazing soft goods. So, man, I'm shilling. I'm shilling because I am, man, I want to see these figures. I'm in for an epic all in. So there you go, Jay. I remember being on this stream with you, thinking about you spending what, $700+ on a cat's lair. And so it's my turn. I'm looking to spend $690 on Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures.
I mean,
But I need them all unlocked. I need them all unlocked.
Yeah,
people.
that's the key, right? Like, you're investing. It's an investment, though, right? It's an investment in the company.
Yes, that's the other. Can I just build on that? The indie thing, I don't get that same feeling when I'm like, hey, I'm gonna back a Galactus. Like, I know they don't need me. Ultimately, HasLab doesn't need our money. We know this, but they will not do certain things without our money because it is a risk that they're not willing to take for their bottom line to create, random, relatively one-off characters like a Galactus. They're not going to reuse that buck for anything. So when, here I am, when I give my $690 or whatever, yes, I'm buying product, but at this stage, it's helping this stuff happen. And I'm happy for someone like Spero, who I love, Jason, like super down to earth, chill guy, super creative artist, like at the core. I want to support that. And I've seen what he's done. He was what you all did, Mega J. Like, he did what you are now doing, right? Had an idea, thought, screw it, let's make it happen. Started the process of hiring an artist, working with sculptors, and then here we are now. He's making 4 brand new bucks, and I think that's amazing. And yeah, I want to support, just like I've been supporting with videos or whatever. And no, I seriously don't get paid. To be clear, you all heard the part where I'm paying $690. Yeah, out of my teacher's salary. So
you gotta relieve that stress somehow, Brick. I mean, like,
yeah, I'm gonna sell some Lego.
Oh my gosh, just crazy. No, but so this character here is not a reveal. He's been floating around, or he's a reveal?
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing with this level of company. The reality is, for most people, this is a reveal, just because they're so small. Like, yes, he's put out this concept art has been floating around for years. Like, he wasn't shy about, like, I want to do this, I want to do this. But that's, I think, largely why you're seeing him go to a Kickstarter to try and get these figures out. Because I think for an artist, you're like, man, I've been sitting on these ideas for so long. I love them. I think they're cool. Can we please make them now? And again, if he just said, okay, well, we're going to release Wave, it's time for Wave 4, but put them on, pre-order and do the normal thing. And then we'll have to wait before, we won't be able to have all those bucks. It's just, that's the idea. It's like, this is the way that we're going to get these characters now. Well, a year from now.
It's going to take a little time to produce these things. I mean,
so it's the same as Wave 1 and 2, where they're doing the Kickstarter for Wave 5 and 6. Yes, 5 and 6, because they have released 3 and 4. Oh shoot, am I mixing it? No, yeah, and 4 is coming as well, independent of the Kickstarter. That's a Gladiator Wave. So now 5 and 6. 5 is gonna be moving relatively quickly. So anyway, I will just say that we'll have figures in hand before a year. We won't have all of them. We'll have wave 5. And then wave 6, I believe, is like shortly after, about a year out from now. So, but anyway, I'm just excited, and thank you for creating the space here, and thank you for you all doing what you're doing too, man. Like, I'm intrigued by the fact that we have turned this essentially this joke. I was there for the $1 debacle. I was flying to Texas trying to get mine. A bunch of us were on the GDL Discord and the live stream. Hey, did you get yours? Did you get yours? We went through the whole drama that later that afternoon when things started getting canceled. And I remember seeing the Flipor character evolve the next couple of weeks and make weird appearances on people's channels. And to think that we went from that and we're like, yeah, what a cool pop culture item, man. We're getting a toy of a flipper in that classic Motu style. So it's exciting. And I hope it pushes forward with like all those potential other characters. But we can't get there, folks, until this first Flipor, Kickstarter gets backed, and it's doing great. Let's keep going. Help these guys out.
Yeah, and it's been a learning experience for all of us on the team,
Yeah.
and we've had to think on our feet quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a roller coaster of emotions and just a lot of crazy things happening, and we're all better for it now.
Yep.
But if it wasn't for the community, if it wasn't for everybody here, really investing in the community itself, you know what I mean? Like, this wouldn't have happened. The community
Yeah.
really has rallied around this whole idea, this concept, and this one, unified feeling that you can miss out on something because you never had a chance. Because there are bots out. So everything that's in this campaign is resonating with people. It's just a thing. You have scalpers, you have flippers, you have bots, you have captchas, you have. If you listen to everything that's inside the campaign, it's everything that keeps you away from hitting your goal, from actually, getting the figures that you want. Because there are all these walls, there are all these deterrents, right? Which are supposed to protect you, right? They're supposed to help you stop these things, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, someone always misses out, and that's the thing. It really speaks to, who we are as collectors, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
where the joke comes from, and that's where this, satirical nature of the character really has just captured everybody's imagination. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's really why people are backing this thing. People are backing this, like everyone's saying, like, there are a whole bunch of people out there who are like, oh, it's because Matt Hatter's so, he's so charismatic. He's funny. His audience loves him so much. Yes,
I was gonna say
yes.
none of that is
None of that is
untrue.
untrue. None of that is untrue. 100%. That is absolutely 100% what the reason everybody knows about it. Absolutely. But behind, like outside of that, there's this unique thing about Flipor which speaks to everybody, right? Everybody has been burned by somebody who's flipping things. Everybody has had to think, at least think. It's like, I really want that action figure, but do I really want to pay $200 for it when it's only a $50 figure? You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has had that lingering little thought in their heads. Everybody, at least in this community right now, that's this toy community at large, has had to say, "Oh God, I got to get ready for that one pre-order because I need my credit card ready. I need to, like, I need to get ready for, like, what kind of captcha am I gonna have to deal with today? Is it gonna be traffic lights? Is it gonna be cars? Is it gonna be like, whenever somebody comes up to you and says, did you get the cars or did you get the traffic lights? Everybody knows what the hell you're talking about. That's the lexicon that's actually being built off of this whole idea that we are all united as a collecting community,
Yep.
right? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then when you say catcha, right? What is it? What is a catcha? You know what? That unifies two of the most favorite things that Hatter's ever had: his cats and the fact that he hates. It's a collective hate of these things, right? And because of that,
Crosswalk.
we've created. Well, not we. Hatter has created physical representations of your pain, right? And because of those things, not only is that a joke, but now you can literally just say, this little bastard here that's rolling around my desk right now. Holy crap! He just stopped me again. It's a wonderful idea. It's absolutely great. I mean, for crying out loud, there are action figures of food. You know what I mean? There are food fighters out there. Like who? Like people are like, why are you creating an action figure of a flipper? Well, for crying out loud, there's an action figure of a hamburger. There's an action figure of fries and Coke. You know what I mean? Like action figures have been made out of anything, and this one actually speaks to collectors directly.
Mm.
So you know what? It's the community itself has actually really rallied around this, and thank you
Yeah,
everybody for that. It's just been
absolutely.
absolutely amazing. Just on my hand. Just a Mohan. Do you think that Jason Prospero will add reptile characters in the Bruiser class? We answered that earlier. Sorry, Jason. I
Yeah,
just
we
didn't
addressed
know
it.
about
Yeah.
that. Jason Brano. Didn't Hasbro find local partners, for example, Canada, for premium / crowdfunding stuff? It's just a lack of will and competence at this point. Okay, so we can't. It's easy. It's Jason Brown. It's always easy to just say, "Oh, they're a big company. They can figure this out." Yes, but big companies come with problems, and I highlighted that idea earlier, that once a partner fails you, you got to find a new partner, and that can take forever, right? Because we're at the beginning of the year. Normally, budgets for companies are set at the end of last year, so they can
Mhm.
begin the first year fresh. So they've
Yep.
already signed their contracts for this year, and now if they have to find a new partner, you're kind of screwed. You're kind of screwed in that sense, right? It's not easy business. Business is not easy. Burn Lomax. The details are very limited to talk private screenings about the 2028 release, and there's talk about it. I have no clues on versions. As of for the GI Joe game, I can tell you that the new summer release does really look good, and that there's a green flag to push the newer game out. When you know what, I need to find out more about this. Where can we find more information about this, Bernie? Because articles, something. Let us know. Like send me a PM on Instagram, because that's fascinating. I really want to find out more about
Me too.
board games and GI Joe.
Yep.
Star, that new Kali looks fantastic. Yes, he does. He looks absolutely crazy. Lots to look forward to. Please, guys, support the Spero campaign. Just gonna throw that back up here. Oh, wrong one. Definitely support the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom campaign. They are, you know what, we should highlight this. They are so close to their goal, everybody. So close to their goal. $87,963 of 99,000 goal. I mean, they have 39 days to go. They're so close, everybody. So close. But, and I will say this, that's not enough. That is not enough money. Okay, they're hoping for they're hoping for a lot more, and I support them in that. At 120,000, they unlock the heavy infantry House of Varanide. Am I
Yeah.
saying that correct? Yes.
No,
So
I have no idea. I think I have Verena Day, but honestly,
Varanide.
I don't
Okay.
even know,
I am
man.
completely terrible. I butcher everybody's names, but anyway, he looks fantastic. I love the color scheme. I love the gradient fill on his face, and the
The
actual body.
armor's
Just
hot. Yep.
beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love the weathering on the armor and the bits. Just crazy. The new unlock will happen at 130,000. Cold blooded alternative heads. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then of course King Hannibal. Um,
Actually,
Collie Prime.
before you jump through, let me just say that with the heads packs, they in the past they've been essentially 3 heads per pack. And I'll tell you, it's a tricky thing. Someone else in the chat mentioned this. They're like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." When Spiro did those head packs, instantly you get new characters, and that's the other piece of it, right? It's like, oh, I really like this head, but I like the original head. I guess I need to buy another body.
See,
And so, yeah.
I have a theory about that too, and I will. I can't say anything right now, but anyway, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
and I will say this,
I
he's
agree.
I'm only repeating things that he's already said publicly, Jason. So, at least I hope that's true. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I can separate the conversations, but the other thing he has said is some of the alternate heads packs that are to be unlocked in this will reward fans who've been in it, hence the Kickstarter. If you're like a hardcore fan and you've got some of your favorite characters and you've been frustrated about, oh, that sculpt's great, but I want to see a warrior pale face, or I want to see a more angry attack face, that might be the kind of thing you might exactly be unlocking in
Mhm.
these.
Yes.
So
Looking
yeah.
forward to it.
And yeah, just as you're scrolling through, I mentioned that they come in different bucks. This is something that people don't realize, because I know this threw people for a curve. You can't actually initially just order one figure. You have to back in sets. So, for example, if you're really into the lizards, what your initial backing would be for a 2-pack of the 2 figures that are the chameleon and, oh, sorry, triggered the fun stuff. The 2-pack
Love that.
with the chameleon and the blue lizard, and I think it's a weapons pack that comes with them, or a heads pack. I
Yeah,
forget what it is.
I do have to say though,
Yeah,
and
there you go.
I'm just gonna bring attention to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Action Figuratorium, who's in the chat right now, or was in the chat, um, he sort of hit this on the head the other day. Why is that? Why is there a 2-pack system here? I mean, like
Why are they
I
doing it? Yeah.
I think I have my suspicions, but I mean, like, is there any specific reason why?
Yeah, there are specific reasons. There's a couple of different pieces. The one obvious the big thing is like, hey, we're creating new bucks. We want to make sure that it's kind of what you're saying. Like, we want to, I guess, scoot closer and a little faster to recouping some of the money for that buck, by essentially, if you're going to order something, you're getting at least 2 of that buck, if that
Mhm.
makes sense, right? At least,
Sure.
yeah. And so, so there's that piece of it. The other piece of it, what am I covering? The buck, there was another reason and it totally escapes me for a second. I'll come back to it.
Sure.
Um,
The only reason I ask is because we uh presently,
mhm,
we're offering a 3-pack,
mhm,
right? But what we've done there is, we're including the Flipper Frank head, which is the only way you can actually get them,
mhm.
right? And but the way we did it is we figured that an army builder, like the bots, everyone like with Star Wars and with GI Joe, everyone wants to build an army,
Yeah,
right? So having that ability to actually have this army builder, you buy 2-packs, but then let's just say you want the gold, you want the glow in the dark, you want the stealth, right? Buying all these packs together, you've already built a huge army. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the way we thought about it.
yeah.
Um, and I applaud the ingenuity in putting these two guys together. But it does run the risk. If I may, it does run the
Mhm.
risk. The idea that if you're only building a reptilian army, you're kind of stuck. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
that's why you're not, so 2 things, you're not getting, okay, if you were to say, "I like the lizard and I like you're not getting dupes of a character, right? You're
yeah,
essentially getting those 2 characters. There we go again, sorry with the balloons. Um, but and so again, that's gonna help with some of these things of like, well, we invested in this buck, we just sold at least 2 figures of that buck, moving on, right? It's
mm,
obviously not gonna instantly capture your money, but it moves things forward a little bit. But, you're not truly army building, right? I mean, if you're getting 2 completely different characters, the chameleon, at least in the lore, if you care about the lore, there are 2 different groups. The lizard, the Verinidae, and the, chameleon, and that blue lizard, they're all sort of like individual separate characters.
mm,
So, yes, they are saying for your initial backing, you gotta buy at least either these 2 guys in this buck, or the 2 brawlers, or the 2 women, or the 2 speedsters, right? After that, like, let's say I go for the 2 women, That's my initial backing. And then you can actually do add-ons of individual figures from any of the styles.
Sure.
Does that make sense? That's
It it
how it's working. They're
it
just trying
does.
to push it a little. Oh, I remember the other piece. Here's the other piece. Logistics. There is, I think there is a logistic piece on it. I will tell you right now that shipping single figures is challenging. Sorry if no one's told you this. I don't know how you guys are handling this. Can cause some wrinkles and can cause a lot as far as the fulfillment goes.
Mhm.
And so this time around, to avoid some of the messiness with wave 1, wave 2, getting those from the Kickstarter into people's hands, because they did it themselves, right? And Jason's a creative dude. Ask him to create a character and a backstory and design them and then get those translated into toys. You can do that. He figured out the engineering part, had other people work with him. Great. Not necessarily planning for the logistics of how you take a shipping container and then figure out everyone's address and make sure that, you're getting everything out in a timely manner to everyone. So this time around, they've hired, I think it's called Fulfill Right, who's going to do that all for them.
Yeah,
And
we did look into, a fulfillment center,
yeah,
but at our stage, the way we
exactly.
are, it's
Yeah,
just
it's the
it's not
cost.
it's cost. It's
Yep.
it's prohibitive, right?
Yeah, but
Um,
Jason knows that he has to essentially not repeat last time. He's fully aware and is not, like not pretending that there weren't issues with fulfillment. And so they're taking that problem away by working with this other company. Now, that other company, the way they handle it, and from their experience, my understanding is that one of the things that they're recommending is like, hey, man, don't take single figure orders, because addressing single figure, you get the person who's just like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I just want this one. It will complicate things on the fulfillment end. Now, at least if you've got people going in for two, that is going to help cover some of the costs of like you paying us as Fulfill Right and some of the labor and logistics of having to ship out, just like anything else. If I have to ship out, I don't know, 20 orders of 10 figures each versus each one of those a single figure shipments, that's a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of potential for error, right? And so I think they're trying to capture as much as they can. It's not that much. We're talking one figure versus two figures. I get it. If you only like one of the women and one of the lizards, you're frustrated. And to that, I think Spero is going to say, we get it. And we totally understand that. And we're not trying to keep you out, but maybe the Kickstarter isn't for you. You can do that once these are made, and we'll sell them to you in retail. And so it's not going to be for everyone, unfortunately. And I think there are some real world reasons why that is the case.
no,
So
I totally understand. After you explain,
mhm.
what the theory is behind it. But I think, and it's not too late. But it will probably see. There's thing. There's thing about adding things at the end of the campaign, or
Yeah,
middle campaign. You really
yeah,
don't. It's a dangerous slippery slope. So
it
it's
is.
tough to
And and like I said,
recommend.
at the end of the day, like people are saying, well, you're leaving money on the table. No, no, you're not, because again, recognize that this Kickstarter thing this is in theory, right? In theory, this is how you raise capital to move something along. That's what this phase is. This isn't even retail. This isn't even pre-order. I know it's kind of weird as we get into crowdfunding. We blur those lines a lot, right? But in this case, because of the size of Spero and what they want to do and how fast they want to do it, they have no choice but to at least help get the community who's invested and who like this thing to try and truly invest their money to help make this thing happen. Like they couldn't just release 4 new bucks on their own with the assets that they have in hand. So what my point is, hey, like if that's fine, like maybe pretend that this Kickstarter doesn't exist, and then when it's backed and it's done, imagine that's when they're announcing to the world, hey, these figures are coming, and then put your order in for the single figure. Then, you know what I mean? It's a weird reality. And again, it's like, talking about the indie thing, it's just a difference of scale. Like you and I had crowdfunding conversations, right? And the biggest wrinkle in that whole conversation is, should Hasbro and Mattel be crowdfunding? And
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
that's admittedly a completely different conversation. But in
yeah.
this
It's
case, there's some very real practical reasons why people have to do things the way they're doing. So I hope that is helpful for people.
you know what? At the end of the day, we theorized a lot with Adam and tried to figure out, whether or not big companies, giant companies, actually need to crowdsource. But there are multiple reasons why they do and why they don't.
Yep.
But it really comes down to the idea that there's no way they could bring those things to market in a normal traditional sense. And I think that that's just
Mhm.
really what it boils down to at the end of the day. So
I agree. And can I just adjust that a little bit? I will also say part of that calculation for a Mattel and a Hasbro is, are they willing to put the money into bringing that thing to market? Because I think it's fully possible if the person holding the purse strings is like, yes, screw it, we got the money, here, go. But I think from a financial perspective, the people running the calculations are like, well, then it's going to take this long for us to recoup this cost. It's not worth it, and so they opt not to.
yeah.
So,
Again, they have number crunchers. They have guys who
yep.
evaluate risk and loss, and the rest of us just want fucking. No, I'm sorry, the rest of us just want really cool toys. You know what I mean? The rest of us just want fucking cool toys.
You're not different from Jason's thinking either. Like,
Yeah,
that's a thing, and so here we go.
absolutely, guys. Animals Warriors: The Kingdom is on its way to fulfilling its goal, but I do have to stress this is not enough money for those guys. They are literally putting this on a shoestring budget. Less than a shoestring budget. They're starving on this. This is not. No. Let's try and get these guys not only to 99,000. Let's get them to 150,000, 200,000, right? Because they need it. Like, seriously, this trust me. I know, knowing that what I know now, this is barely enough for one of these figures. Okay, they
Yeah,
need four
yeah.
brand new tools. Let's get them past 100,000. Let's get them to 200,000 because they absolutely need this. 39 days ago, 344 backers with the pledges of up to 87,963. They are so close to their goal, guys, but let's get them way past that. This has just been a hugely fun evening for us, guys. But you know what? This is not a walk in the park for anybody, especially a company who's done this already. This everybody here needs help, and I'm more than happy to talk about these guys because I really believe in their product. And having a couple examples here. I wish I'd actually done a full review. It's just been so busy, but that's what this man is here for. I mean, he's always talking about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Definitely,
Yep. Yep.
head over to Brick something and definitely give him a like and a follow because you're gonna find out more about the lore. You're gonna find out about the comics. You're gonna find out about the whole thing that makes Animal Warriors of
Oh,
the Kingdom what it is. I
can I
mean,
offer one quick thing about the comic books?
sure.
What unfortunately got a little bit lost is this past Wednesday, when this thing kicked off, was also the first week that they basically are reissuing the comics, so that, because they're working with Diamond distributors, and so now brick and mortar comic shops, wherever you get your comics, can also order and carry the AWOC comic book. The first 4 issues that were produced independently, like fully independently and distributed independently through Spero, those were out there, but they weren't things that were available for comic book shops to order. And so they decided, like, we want to get these out here. And then they ultimately ended up deciding that we still want to be a self-publisher, but we want it to make it to produce it in larger numbers and make it more available to comic book shops with alternate covers and all that kind of thing. So this past Wednesday, issue number 1 should have dropped in comic book stores that opted to get it. That's the trick. So if you have a local comic book shop and you're kind of curious about this AWOC thing, you might want to talk to them about looking into issue. Ooh, I think they can still maybe order issue 2, maybe not. The solicits may have ended, but just talk to them about, like, hey, this is a property that you might want to check out. And oh, by the way, through Diamond distributors, they also are distributing the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom toy line. And that's all because honestly, the folks at Diamond, they just love the toys. That they were interested in the toys. They saw the toys. They approached Jason, and they made a deal for the figures. And then it wasn't until later they realized, wait, there's a comic book too? Like, why aren't we distributing that? And that's what got this whole conversation started. And I'm with you two guys talking. It is a fantastic comic book. And I think that's why I like ride so hard for this line, because the story's great. It brings me in some ways, it brings me back to some of that nostalgia that I was liking, that the sweet like 80s cartoons or comic books that got me to buy G.I. Joe and Masters of the Universe. But it's 21st century storytelling. The art is amazing. It plays with a lot of tropes. It's some fun stuff. And if some of you are wondering why some of the figures have armor and some of them look like they're in a jungle with blades, if you read the comic book, it'll really illuminate your understanding of what this line is, man. It is actually some dope sci-fi. So anyway, I'm trying to sell it because I love it. I really do love it. And I'm also of the thinking that the next generation needs stuff, man. I know I love Masters of the Universe, and I hope Masters of the Universe doesn't go anywhere for everybody, not just people in the United States. I hope that everybody gets to buy Masters of the Universe toys, and we get even more cartoons and comics. Same with G.I. Joe. Like, where's my G.I. Joe cartoon right now? Like, the line is killer, but there's no entertainment. We need something, right? But next generation needs some stuff too. Some stuff that's going to move things forward. So I want to see a Netflix Animal Warriors of the Kingdom show. I want to see a Mythic Legions live action. Holy crap, that'd be amazing. I want to go to that world. Give me a Game of Thrones, but Mythic Legions. Give me a, I don't know, a sci-fi show, Cosmic Legions. Like, I want to see this stuff. Keep feeding me the Dune that I love. Keep feeding me all the Star Wars. But let's get some new stuff that, we can build new IP and new pop cultural things to like build off of. So anyway, that's what I'll say. Comic books. Go talk to your comic book person. AWOC.
You know what? I as wonderful as an announcement as that is, I've dealt with comic with Diamond, and you know what? I don't like Diamond very much.
Oh,
It's their terms are ridiculous, and their buybacks are just stupid. Anyway, at the end of the day, when you get to when you get to a distributor as large as Diamond, you are moving quite a bit of product. So, they deliver to thousands of stores across the United States, and that in and itself, it's maybe more like hundreds of stores, but I mean they are the biggest game in town. So the fact that Spero Toys is in, congratulations, that's huge. No matter which way you slice it, that's incredible. Lar A. Tardemian Hangover was surprised by a statement you made in a recent video about Optimus Prime. Was glad to contrast it with your prior stories you shared about you on your son's collecting. Yeah, you know what? Mike has always been honest about his feelings, and I'm glad that his audience still resonates with that. That's awesome. Ryan, badass figure is a badass figure. Who cares if it's a girl or a guy? Good point. Good freaking point.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know where that sentiment comes from. I think it really is that idea that girls are dolls. So it just carried over to some people's overall likenesses of things. And
I mean, it's also antiquated, right? It came from business practices from a long time ago, and it's stuck. And it's hard to say whether or not it was true or if it just continued to be true because that's how the companies were marketing, right? So it's almost like when they created a boys aisle and a girls aisle, that only helped like consumers think some of these weird things that you mentioned. But like, it's a new day, folks, and I feel like it's it's a 21st century. It doesn't have to be that way, and Mattel and Hasbro maybe have gotten used to that. I don't think a Spero needs to be that way anymore, and we're seeing it.
I understand that, but the problem is that if it is an antiquated way of thinking, that's fine. Because today kids make their own minds. But people argue that kids don't play with toys, whatever that is.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
the unfortunately, the numbers also don't lie. it's one of these things where we as a generation, you know what I mean, us,
Well,
right, who are
that's
the
what I'm
buying.
saying. The numbers don't lie. I agree with you. And we're used to buying in a particular way. Flip side, it's not like we had a ton of options. It's not like McFarlane gave me the option to change that at any point. And
Yeah.
so once we kept doing that, and so you have maybe Classified, who I think is trying to adjust things. Is it changing? I don't know. Is it just because it will never change? It's hard to say, because at the end of the day, I think you're right. Some of us are
Stuck in our
have our
ways.
buying habit, yeah, are stuck in our ways. But that's why we gotta find new things.
Yeah, Star. That's a mighty thin line between dolls and action figures. Gonna take some serious wordplay to make that argument work. You know what? I hear what you're saying, Star, but as Brick said, there's a new way of thinking, and again, the it's it's when you look at the actual sales figures, it's just really interesting. That's all I'm really saying. It is fascinating how that works, right? But it's probably just a piece of mentality, right? I mean, uh, I didn't collect the Princess of Power line, and there's probably a reason for that. It probably is because they were really brightly colored, and I love the cartoon. I think the real reason I didn't collect the Princess Power line because they didn't look like the cartoon. I think that's really down like to the nth degree. I think that's really what it. And now all these Princess Power, Masterverse figures and classics figures, I am dying to collect those, right? Because they look like the cartoon. I think that really is the separator on that one. Also, the rooted hair thing when I was a kid. I mean I think that's really where that came from. They did feel kind of like dolls, right? So there is that sort of separation because I love Tila. I have Tila. I have Evelyn because they kind of look like the cartoon. You know what I mean? The whole different factor there, right? Um, but again, it's just one of those things, and it's hard to understand, right? Really, the psychological aspect of it. I'm not even going to get into that. Titanium Hanger, Jay, we need more characters made from the Brave Star for Ramen, more Mask in 1/18th, and now Visionaries are confirmed. Mike, you know what? We can have tons of conversations on this. I mean, I push it when I can, but I will not. I'm not going to candy coat this. Those are such like, and you know this, Mike. You know this. Those are such wonderful toy lines, but they really do have a really small audience. And we need to grow that, yes. But those things deserve their own channel. You know what I mean? Like they really need a dedicated. You and I that cover toy news, right? Here's okay. So here, because Mike brought it up, I'm
Mhm.
just gonna share with you guys something. It is hard to be to not niche down on something. No, actually, Brick is also in this conversation too. Actually, any of us who cover multiple toy lines, a lot of YouTube aficionados and researchers and things, they're going to tell you that what we're doing is wrong. Okay, they're going to tell you that what we're doing is wrong, and we need to niche down. We need to choose on one, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows me as a Motu guy. Everybody knows that. Like I am Motu, Motu, Motu. Like I live Motu all day long. But my channel itself doesn't just report on Motu. I report on so many different toy lines: GI Joe, what's it called? Power Rangers, Ghostbusters, Transformers. I report on anything that interests me, right? But you'll notice that the biggest hits on my channel are going to be Motu, right? Because people know about that on my channel, and it served me well.
Mhm.
But it's a brave thing to really go out there and report on the indie lines because it's such a niche thing. And what Brick is doing and what Adam is doing, and all these guys who are reporting on lines which really are obscure for the general public,
Mhm.
absolutely insane and incredible. You guys are doing the good work that everyone should be doing. I cover
Uh,
I cover these things every so often, and sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. But the
yeah.
reality is that when you're going to talk about Visionaries, who has again, wonderful toy line from the 80s, but not a lot of people really remember that, right? There are a ton of people who remember it, but no one's really collecting it anymore. Nobody's really looking for it, right? Um, Brave Star, again, wonderful toy line. I absolutely love Brave Star from the 80s. Tex Hex, Sandstorm, all those guys, right? 3030. But does anybody talk about it anymore in high capacity? Is it a trending topic? It's hard to say. Master Universe was not a trending topic a little while ago. It's
Yeah.
only when Mattel started bringing it back to the surface for the 40th anniversary that it really took
Mhm.
off.
Mhm.
Right? You need a linchpin. You need a spark to get things going. Right? At one point, Centurions was back on the was being talked about again because of Robo. Robo thought that there was a really cool product that Robin was doing, and then something happened. He didn't understand why certain things were happening with Ramen, and so he sort of backed off from that, and the interest sort of weaned. Right? There's the thing. There's so many different things. The wheel is continuously moving, and for guys like Brick, and for Adam, I tip my hat to those guys. It's just crazy. What you guys are doing.
Uh,
So
I mean, we're into it. I think that's a thing. At first and foremost for me and Adam. I know it's like we created channels because again, there's a certain type of content that we wanted to see, and it wasn't there, and we could wait for it, or we could just do it. And so, yeah, I have no illusions about like the reality is that there's going to be way more people who want to talk about those other things. And that's great. I love watching those videos and I want to talk about those things too. But man, I'm just amazed. Like we keep saying, it's the golden age of toys. There's toys everywhere. It would be really weird if all these toy lines existed and no one was talking about them. Like we're just missing the boat, right? So yeah, so we do what we do.
yeah, and it's beautiful. You guys should definitely check out Brick Something and figuratively speaking, and all these guys who are doing just amazing
Yeah,
work,
highly
and
articulated. And can
like
I just say,
highly articulated, like like everybody.
yeah, I mean, I need an excuse to buy. Like, if I'm buying these things, I need to justify it and be like, "Can I show you guys this on the internet to make me feel like it was an important purchase?" So, yeah, man. So,
Absolutely, and
come on,
that
Orc
orc looks amazing.
Samurais.
Yeah, that orc looks incredible.
What world are we
Um,
living in?
Yeah, no, we are spoiled again, as you said earlier, Brick. We are spoiled. Star, sorry, been away for a while. Got promoted at work, and hours have drastically changed. Not sure how I'll be able to catch all the shows lives anymore. Gonna try. Thank you, Star. We really do appreciate that,
Star
and
is great.
congratulations on the promotion. Justin Mohan, the red reptile is so cool. The color scheme is amazing. Well, hopefully we'll get there. $130,000 to get there. Let's make it happen, Justin. Star, Void is awesome. He is awesome, isn't he? We're gonna see more of that. Trash around my plastic just coming in. Congrats on Flipboard. We now need purchaser
I
for
like
his
that.
nemesis.
I like that. The
I do like it.
purchaser,
Yeah,
purchaser.
send us all. Email us all these suggestions, guys. Those are some great names.
Okay,
Tiger
you don't
Hanger.
have to reveal anything, but has Hatter been giving you some sense of some other things that he's been thinking about for
Oh no, I can tell you.
the realm?
There's gonna be an announcement very soon.
Okay.
In the next few weeks. But if you're talking about new characters, um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. No.
I'll put it that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
He's
a
a
comic book.
creative dude. I know he's got
Yeah, no,
ideas.
he's a
Yeah.
writer and he's
Yep.
writing a comic, a 9-page comic right now.
Yep.
Right, so
Yep.
the lore is being fleshed out right now.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
these characters don't come from nowhere.
Mhm.
Hatter has a very again, he's a writer. He's putting this all together in his head. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Tiger Hanger, do you have a vid on step by step how to back a crowdfund? You know what? I don't think there really is. I suppose it would be helpful. As a matter of fact, we should honestly because there are a lot of people wondering how to do certain things. So yeah, maybe we should. I don't know, bro. Maybe we should make one. I don't know.
There are general tutorials, but the challenge is everybody's structured. Everyone's is structured differently. Like you guys
Sure.
did some very different things too, where you kind of like share. These are all,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys did some innovative stuff with that. But I think the general concept, I mean, to be fair, it's not something that is necessarily intuitive for most people. I've seen people go into Kickstarters and get very confused when they like, if the Kickstarter doesn't end, they're like, wait, so I'm not getting it, or when do I get the things? And so, Mike's right. It's like, it's confusing stuff. I will say if you're doing a Kickstarter, and you know that you're doing some different things, it would be good for you to do what Jay is doing and like talk about your Kickstarter online and maybe even walk people through the options. Like that, all that conversation we were having about AWOCs, for example, versus buying 2 figures versus 1. That's not necessarily something that is super clear to people. So maybe, I don't know. I think it probably makes more sense for each campaign to do some level of that and make it accessible to people. Like this is what it means to back our campaign, and this is how you do it.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to do a campaign. I think that's that's really uh, um, the lesson to be learned here. But there are people out there who are actively critiquing Kickstarters, like Action Figuratorium, who apparently, I think he has a marketing background, um, and there are best practices, I suppose. But
Yeah.
again, each campaign is different, as Brick said.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about how you run your campaign. But there's again, I think you need to run it the way you run it. Right? There are things that'll happen at the moment, and all of a sudden things change. That's just something that does happen. So you have to be ready to pivot and react to the situation. I think that no matter what, things are, it's an organic thing, honestly, because people are people and people are different. And and one thing I think everyone should be aware of, to be honest with you, is not to get freaked out. Because you're going to see the numbers go up, and all of a sudden see them drop for whatever
Yeah.
reason, and then they'll
Yeah.
go right back up. You know what that is? That's actually people changing their pledges,
Yep.
right? Because they see something nice and shiny that you just unlocked, and they
Yep.
want that, so
Yep.
they'll actually unsubscribe and
Yeah.
then resubscribe. So
Yep.
I think that's really the lesson we learned really quickly, because we were all panicking at one point because we hit a threshold and we're like, why did it just drop like 2 minutes later? Right. So it was it again. Don't panic. I think that's really the biggest thing in a Kickstarter.
Yep. Yep.
Um, Justin Mohan, even the O-ring guys say that there's not a lot of profit in O-rings. You know what? It's amazing the kind of lessons that we've learned with this Kickstarter, and you know what? First and foremost, I realized that toys are not cheap. You know what I mean? Like
You're like, oh, that's why I've
yeah.
been
If
asked
if
to
I thought
spend
toys
so
were
much
if
money.
I thought toys were expensive before, I have a wonderful new understanding of just how expensive toys are, and a wonderful appreciation
That's
of the
great.
fact that I can afford them at the level that I can afford them at right now.
Yeah.
I really understand really where the Japanese toys are coming from right now, because they're making it for their market. They're not making it for our market necessarily, and that's
Hey,
actually why they're so expensive.
hey, Jay, I'm sorry. Would you mind just to go back to Action Figuratorium about the single figures, foreseeing that a bunch of figures are going to be on eBay? You're 100% right. And actually, Jason was straight up saying this too. He's like, hey, listen, I know the way we had to structure it is going to be problematic for some folks, for figures they don't want. But here's the deal. If you back these, you'll get them earlier than anyone else. And like, please go resell them, sell them, get yourself a little bit of money back. And like, no,
No,
and actually,
I'm laughing. I'm laughing
because that's a
because
very real thing,
no,
right?
no, but not
Yeah.
only that, our character, sorry,
Yeah,
Hatter's character
that's
flip
right.
bar.
Flip war.
That's the whole freaking reason. I mean,
I mean, he didn't say to sell it at an exorbitant cost, but the idea is like, listen, if you didn't want that figure, you could sell them, and not only, you'll be able to sell them for, you could sell them at retail and you'll get more money than what you put in for the Kickstarter is the idea. So just to throw that out there, I don't think that's something that people aren't aware of. And I think if anything, um, yeah, that is something people are aware of. And just also, I should mention, because I thought this was interesting. If you're a tiny retailer or someone who like wants to sell figures at a local toy show, there are some packs in there. And this is one way that you can get in relatively simple to kind of get, a good stack of AWOC figures to sell. So there's packages towards the end. You'll see them in there, where you can, buy bundles and at a significant discount so that you can then go to shows. Like they're at that stage where they just want their products out there. And, so check it out.
the and you know what, first of all, I do want to say something. Action Figuratorium is a huge AWOC fan. After watching his videos, I mean, he freely admits that he's all in on the line.
Mhm.
But these are his critiques, and again, I
Or
was,
yeah, or just predictions. I think it's actually a very accurate prediction. Like,
yeah. So
yes,
so it's
totally.
it's it's interesting that we're again, outside looking in kind of idea. And I again, I was the one who asked the question, why do we have these two packs? But um it does lead to this, to certain ideas like this, where you know what, you're going to buy a two pack or you're going to sell the other one. I mean, a lot of people said that about what's it called? King Grayskull. King. Everyone's like, I'm buying Eternia, but I'm going to sell King Grayskull. You know what I mean? And now King Grayskull is one of the highest, one of the highest priced action figures in the Motu line. People are asking crazy money for him right now, right?
Yeah.
So you could literally almost pay for like one third of your Eternia using King Grayskull. That's insane. That is absolutely bonkers, right? And the same thing could happen with Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I mean, like that seems very very possible. Or and the thing is that it's possible for any toy line, if you really want to look into it that way. Teddy Bear Hanger. I'm okay with the reuse of parts to make different characters, and maybe Bionic 6 will be the $3, just a remake. Oh man, Mike is always looking to the future, and I love that about Mike. But it's really tough to predict what happens in the future. TF Fan Page 101, good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Always good to see TF Fan Page 101, guys. If you're into Transformers, you got to check out TF Fan Page 101. Always great to see him in the chat. Thanks, brother. Um, Two guys talking. Spero's really smart with their money. They've been really creative with with the parts they reuse. And you know what? My hat goes off to them, because what they're doing is incredibly brave, in my opinion. I mean, like what they're only asking for like one figure tooling cost, and they're risking it all. That is crazy. That is absolutely nuts. And and I wish them the best. You know what I mean? Guys, you should definitely back that project. Two guys talking. Thankfully, my work bonus is covering that all epic that epic all in. I'm going to assume most of it, if not all of the stretch goals, are going to get unlocked by the end of the campaign. There are 39 days to go. 39 days to go on this campaign, and I think that they are m- absolutely going to smash this goal. I really do, but that doesn't mean that we can't keep talking about it. That's the one thing about the Flipboard campaign. We were consistently on that train of just every single day say something. You know what I mean? Whether it's high or we're listening to you guys, or what have you. And we're always talking about how there's only so many days left in the campaign, for this and for that, and just reminding everybody, engaging everybody, right? That in and of itself is the biggest thing. We have to continuously remind people, because it's easy for people to forget. It really is. But it's that fine line from telling somebody something and annoying the heck out of somebody, right? So and Hatter has a really good way of making it funny, and bless him for that, because honestly, it's easy to not be funny, and just like become really really annoying, and basically give people a reason to say, screw you guys, right? So it's one of those, things where you really have to be very very respectful. That was the word I was looking for. You have to be
Mm.
respectful about people's time. You have to be respectful about people's ability, and understand what the market wants. I think that's really what it comes down to. And as long as you can do that, I think that things can definitely be managed on that level. Um, let's see here. Um, Jeremy Hanger. Oh no, I already read that one. Um, this was funny. Action figure Atora. Motu is dead. Long to live Motu. You know what? Master Universe is the property which will continue to have its fans, generations into it, because they made these Master Universe Origins figures so that kids could play with them. It's the one toy line that you can collect, that you can share with your kids. It was affordable enough when it first came out, and you can smash them around, you can throw them around, you can take their limbs off, and they still survive. They are an old school toy line in a modern day age. It's absolutely crazy. You're not going to cry if somebody grabs okay, admittedly now $18 figure, right, and all of a sudden throws it on the ground Whereas if you were to pick up a $50 Super 7 figure and somebody chucks it across the room, you're going to basically drop your jaw for a little, for a moment. You know what I mean? Like there's a big difference between $18 and $50. So yeah, Motu, long live Motu, but Motu is dead. And I believe that was in reference to what's it called? To Spectre Creative. So that in and of itself is a lot of fun. Country Boy 9, absolutely love my General Thane. Would love to see more awesome figures. These look amazing. You know, Brick, I think we have a lot to look forward to with the Animal Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I really do think that there's meat here, man, that between the concept, the lore. I think it's something I'm hoping will be here for a while, and obviously I'm going to try and do my part to make that happen. But they're great figs, and you mentioned like figures that you can throw around. These are figures that you can give to a kid, you can throw around, you can drop it. They're great. I mean, the plastics are great, the articulation's fantastic. So I wouldn't do that with a lot of my figures. I'll tell you
That's
that.
what I mean. Right. Yeah, no, it's amazing what is possible. Let's see who's the next one here. Hal Jordan looks like a student of the TMNT Splinter for sure. Yeah, you know what? The reptilians are looking really fun, and but there's you could also argue that looks like Usagi Yojimbo up there. Lot of great characters in the anthropomorphic line. So yeah, and it's amazing in my opinion as well that people love animals. You know what I mean, and how obsessed they are, which is another reason why Katcha did so well. Honestly, Katcha captured the imagination of a lot of people. Like it's absolutely crazy how that works. It's just nuts. Um, Action Fury Touring. Looking forward to Flip War coasters. You know what, brother? I mean, like, yeah, it's easy to say that, but I think a lot of people are collecting Flip War not just because of its significance, but also because it speaks to them in some fashion. You know what I mean? The jokes that surround this are exactly what they are. You know,
Hmm.
captchas, bots. You listen to the terminology, and you start
Mhm.
realizing that it's hitting people in a certain vein where they can all just relate. And I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
really,
meta.
really good.
It's super meta. It's super fun.
And
Get
echoing that, Justin says it's something we can all relate to.
Mhm.
Sorry, Breck, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, 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 you're good. Yeah. And I want a shopping cart vehicle. Yeah.
Uh, um,
Okay, fine.
uh,
Move on. Keep going. I didn't say anything. Keep
yeah,
going.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
get you in trouble.
wow,
Let's go.
wow, really cool. That's awesome. Um, yeah, shit, that's awesome. G Zambrano, with the tooling the Buck made with the Ace at Ramen Help. God damn it. Potentially more heads and harness armor combos being made. Expand the line. Unpunched action. Spooked. What the heck, dude? I can't even read what you're saying here. What is G Zambrano saying?
With the tooling for the
Um,
book.
yes, no, yes. Those are simple things that can be made with tooling, and just like really give you. And you know what? If we're talking about history, that's exactly why Master Universe made accessories packs, right? Because they could just get away with printing these huge lines and just make extra money off of that stuff. So yes, 100%. And Animal Warriors Kingdom is following in that beautiful tradition. As a matter
Mhm.
of fact, is there a weapons pack bundle here? I think there are. Yeah. So you
Oh
can get
yeah.
the
Oh,
cold-blooded weapons pack. You can
yep.
get the what's it called? There was another one. Yeah, the Bone Crusher weapon set. You
Yep.
can get I think there was one more, wasn't it? Yeah, here it is. The Rogues weapon set. Yeah, this is a wonderful tradition that they're digging into, and
Yep.
it, they're also wonderfully new and beautiful
Mhm.
sculpted items. They just
Agreed.
absolutely
There's some different weapons that they're putting out that I
yeah.
really love. And so just to prove that I'm not a total shill, I do critique. My biggest concern with the I don't know why I should ask Jason this. Um, but the handles are bigger. The grips are bigger. So you can absolutely use them on a Masterverse, for example, but it will make the hands expand. So that's one of my things. Yeah, they're fairly So, I just want to prove that they're not. I can do plenty of critiquing as well.
Okay, here's something. Action figure time. You laugh, but Flipboard could go mainstream. You know what? I'm not laughing.
No,
There's we're talking about like behind the scenes. We're talking about a lot of different opportunities. So, and it's interesting how this has all come together. But there's a lot of things that could possibly happen with Flipboard. And yes, the concept of it is just again they make action figures out of food. You know, you know what I mean? Like that to me is more fascinating than anything else. It's just absolutely crazy. But thank you guys for sticking with us tonight. It's been an interesting ride. Two guys talking. It's tough keeping up with the waves of 4-H stuff. I had to scale back and really curate my collection. You know what? Four Horsemen is just oh my god, it's just crazy. Um, and one thing though that I've been really happy about is their what are they called again, the Legends collection, I guess they just the ones that just
figure obscure.
no what are the Epic collection, the Epic Legends, basically they reissue characters from waves back and bring them forward so people can collect them again. I can't remember what they're actually calling it.
Oh, the All Stars.
Yes, there you
The
go.
All Star waves. Yeah,
The
yeah.
All-Star waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I was searching for the word. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Immortal Khan says Savage Crucible is good stuff for me. Yes, Savage Crucible is getting there too. Again, we are spoiled
This
for toys.
is
We are spoiled for
yes.
toys.
That's how I knew that this year was gonna be wild. Like it's gonna start with Poxus. I know that I'm getting a lot. Savage Crucible. I ordered quite a bit from there, and they're gonna be coming finally this year. So 2024 is gonna be wild. What I didn't factor were all of these, these new companies coming out of Hong Kong and other places where it's like that you get on 5K Toys. I could have never predicted a Maestro Union because they just dropped product. They didn't do a Kickstarter, right? Not to mention you got your Flipboard going on. There's, Nacelle's even trying to do. Someone mentioned like a Kickstarter right now. You've got Galactic Valor by Fox Forge. There's just like stuff coming from every direction. So at a certain point, not going to be able to get a lot, but still it's going to be nice to just window shop. Or I'll come to your house and play with your toys
Yeah.
and stuff that I don't have. And
You know what? Here's the thing that, and I'm gonna remind everybody. I don't mean to be that piece. I don't mean to be that bucket of cold water, but you don't
Yeah.
need to buy everything, guys.
Nope, you definitely
Okay,
don't.
you don't need
Yep.
to buy everything. I mean,
Yep.
it's sometimes it's just nice to look to see from afar and
Yep.
just wish everybody the best because
100%.
the truth is that as much as we'd like to, like, you come to a point when you finally start realizing, holy crap, I can't buy everything. I mean,
Yep.
it's just sometimes it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Um, I was that guy. I was that guy that was literally trying to collect everything at one point, and I have no room in the house anymore, and it's going to become a problem very soon, coming in the year. And I've stopped. I've stopped collecting the lines. I just realized I don't have the room for. You know what I mean? And I don't really love. I don't. I'm now collecting everything I absolutely love. It's that's how, and it's tempting, because all of a sudden you get a company who comes up to you and says, "Hey, would you like to take a look at the newest Four Horsemen figure?" I'm like, "Oh, God, I can't get into a line again, right?" And the thing is, it's so hard because then you play with a Four Horsemen figure, you realize just how great they are.
Yeah.
That's a foreshadowing
Yeah.
for something. But anyway, Hal Jordan, Vala proved that female waves sell like crazy. Hell, McFarlane proved himself wrong with the Wonder Woman. He sold out in a day. I know, right? God, stop showing me that. And like everywhere, ha ha ha. I've been looking. I know. Again, but there are those legendaria, that will never go away, right? Like, the Golden Age, the Silver Age. It's tough. It's a tough thing, right? And these characters are just so popular, especially certain versions of those characters are just absolutely crazy. Um, let's see here. Yeah, guys, we're gonna start winding it down, but I want to thank my good friend Brick something for joining us today. Brick has always been a wonderful champion of Animal Wars of the Kingdom, and giving one last look into the AWOC. Guys, this is a wonderful campaign. These guys are just killing it right now. They have 39 days left to go. 87,963 dollars of a $99,000 goal. They're so close, everybody. And like I said, this is an incredible value because this is not enough. It's just not. And you know what? I really hope that that they can make it. And really, it's. I just don't know how they're doing this. I just don't understand it. And I wish them the best because, guys, this is a huge value. I mean, look at these guys. The
Yeah.
actual characters themselves. They're massive. I mean, they're
We
massive.
haven't
They're
Yeah, I
menacing.
haven't even gone into some of the really cool, funky details on how awesome these figures are. Like that chameleon, for example, has articulated eyeballs. That
It's
rabbit has articulated ball jointed ears. There's a lot of great things going on here. So I'll leave it at that. Just go check out the Kickstarter.
absolutely. Um, Titanium Hanger. Destin Toys just came out of nowhere with Brave Star as Brave Star. You know
Yeah,
what?
they did. They
He's the
did.
wrong. He's the wrong scale though. He's the
Well,
wrong freaking scale.
it's import. It's
I know,
import.
I know,
True 112.
but you know what? Then they can't stop there. They have to bring in 3030. They have to bring in Tex Hex. They have to do something because honestly, if you're gonna start a line like that that looks like the cartoon, you
Yeah.
better bring it. You better start bringing it. This in. Like I don't know who you guys are, but it's crazy. Tender Hanger, wow, you guys are still going. I just got back from making room for something big, and that's not what she said this time. Oh, it's always good to have Mike in the chat. It really is. Um, let's see, Star. A while back, I was sure the Mezco 112th was going to rule the 112th market. Wow, did I call that wrong? The indie companies are not getting out of the park. They really are. Things are doing some great stuff. The Immortal Con. Did you get your? It's at the border. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get him over here.
I didn't know
For
you got that.
brother. You know what? I wasn't, and then and then it happened. You know what I mean? It was.
Oh my god, that good
Oh my
choice because that thing is
Oh,
beautiful.
he's beastie, man. Like when I actually saw him, I was like, gee, like I saw him in person, right? So
Uh-huh.
when I actually saw him, I was
Powerpon.
like, dear God, like this thing is, oh my gosh. Also tell him to let you review Poxus Wave. Funnily, you should say that, and again, that's a harbinger of things to come. Anyway,
Huh.
good journey, Mr.
Huh.
Melvin,
That's
on that.
interesting.
Stop showing me that. Guys, definitely support Animal Warriors of Kingdom. They're so close. Please, uh,
Flipper.
yeah, and flip whore, yes. But I
Let's
do want
go
to thank my good
Flipper.
friend. I know, right? I do want to thank my good friend Brick something for being here tonight. Brick, what are you working on, and how can people reach you, my friend?
Flip War. No, I am every Sunday. I do the Brick Something News, but news actually stands for the Needless Ephemeral We Saw. I get a co-host. Jay's been on there as a co-host. The next 3 weeks, I'm going to be hanging out with folks from a rebranded channel, the Collection Nexus. That's formerly Fig Bunker. So on Sunday, I've got Toy Box of Doom, Drew. Next Sunday, I've got Jurassic Jesse, and then the Sunday after that is going to be Fig Bunker himself, Berserk. So that's going to be fun. And then I've got shorts that pretty much are out there pretty regularly. Just me showing, hey, sharing my figures. This guy will be going up really soon, like in the morning. And I've got reviews of all these things coming. So I just need to sit and do some editing. But some other stuff in the works, hoping to do a lot more collaboration with a lot of people because I really want to make sure that folks are getting to know all these different channels, especially the smaller ones. So I'll leave it at that. And Jay, dude, I'm just glad to come back and hang out. It's been a long time, but I think the last time was with Adam. I got sick, you got sick. Work makes me sick. So, but I'm happy to be here again. And someday you and I got to talk Dune because, can I get your quick reaction? Thumb up, thumbs down? Oh, I think
Uh,
you said you liked both
no, no,
movies,
no.
right?
So it's a resounding thumbs up. I mean,
Okay,
like I loved it.
cool.
I was confused.
Mm. Hmm.
I was confused. I mean,
Yeah.
again, basically, if you're a Dune fan, the first movie was what you expect. Well, not really. I mean, it was what I expected, but it wasn't.
Yep.
The second movie was almost everything was what I expected, and then they hit me with something and I was like, "What the?" And
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I literally was like, uh, it continues. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, let's find out what's going to happen here. And then you know what? It again another one and another one, and I was like, okay, something's going on. They're planning for something else, right?
Cool.
So um, I suggest everybody watch it. And if you're not a Doom fan, you have no idea what the heck we're talking about. Watch it, and discover it, and learn why this thing. You know, Frank Herbert, said that Dune would be impossible to make.
Yep.
He was right. You know what I
He
mean? Like
was right, and they
he
had to
was
make
right.
some
At the end of
changes,
the
but I'm loving it. Anyway, I didn't. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you that because we're at 2:21, and I figured, maybe if we get a little closer, get closer to the 2 hours and 45 minutes that you spent watching Dune Part 2. No, it's a great
uh,
film. I saw it on Friday when it came out. I went back the next day. I'm going tomorrow to
love those
try and
things.
catch an IMAX. So,
Yeah, I do suggest everybody watch it. The first one was incredible. The second one is just equally so. And again, I got pulled out by Hatter to help with something, but and I missed a lot actually, so I might actually go watch it again. So it was that good. So yeah, definitely, guys, you should definitely check it out. On that note, though, just really quickly, uh, guys, please help support the Flipboard campaign. We have hit our goal of $100,000 in pledges, but we're still 23 days away, and we have
whew.
some new announcements coming up. I'm not at liberty to tell you. Hatter's going to be able to drop the bomb very, very soon. I think you guys are going to be very excited. For all you customizers out there, I think we have a little bit of something for you guys. So
Mm.
I'll put that out there for people to stew on. All you catcha lovers out there, whew, we got something for you guys. Um, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of new things coming. And again, thank you most of all, thank you everybody who's backed the project, who supported the project. You guys are absolutely amazing. I can't believe where we are right now. 1 week in, and close to $120,000
That's
in pledges.
amazing.
Just
Congratulations.
I
Woo.
just cannot believe, cannot cannot believe the support and just the camaraderie that's come out of this, and the community really is the one to thank here. But at the end of the day, it really is all Mad Hatter and his ability to really inspire people. But I did want to once again give my huge thanks and appreciation to everybody on the team who helped make this happen. I mean, everybody who worked behind the scenes. Gilly writes comics, who has been our advisor for Kickstarter for this entire journey. I want to give a huge shout out to Renders Effects, who actually did all the sculpting for Flipboard. I mean, without him, we wouldn't be here at all. I of course want to give a huge shout out to Ramen Toy, who Ace over there.
Peace.
If we didn't have Ace, like, we would not know what we're doing. I mean, I can only imagine what Jason had to go through. And Brick alluded to it earlier. I imagine that having having boots on the ground in as a manufacturer is paramount, and the fact that trying to find somebody who's actually reliable. I mean, really, when you think about it,
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
hand over tens of thousands of dollars to somebody and in the hope that you'll actually get something in return? Think about that, guys. Right? So having someone like Ramen Toy who's actually done it and actually shipped out product and people have gotten it into their hands, that to me speaks volumes. And we've been big supporters of Ramen Toy ever since they released their 80s Commanders, and we're looking forward to the relationship on that end. Um, I want to give a huge shout out to Toy Stalker for the logistics. I mean, without him,
Yeah.
we have. Brick was talking about
That's
it earlier.
huge.
You're gonna have a shipping container dropped at your door. What the hell do you do with that? Like, what do you do when a pallet full of action figures comes to your door? I have no idea how this is gonna work. And we're looking at other partners in other parts of the world. In Canada, we're looking at a partner right now. making the go. And you know what? This is something which will lead to other bigger, better things, right? You know, huge shout out to Animal Warriors of the Kingdom for getting into Diamond, even though I don't like Diamond. You know, I always I just don't. I don't. It's not that I don't like them. I don't like their practices. I think that that's really
Mhm.
the thing. And you know, that's just me as a fan. You know, venting. But you cannot deny their distribution. Congratulations on that, right? I mean, that means that all the comic book stores are going to be able to get them with
Yep.
minimal fuss, and that's huge.
Yep. Yep.
And then I want to shout out to everybody. Brick, I want to thank you for helping
Oh man.
to support the Flipboard campaign. You've been here since the beginning. You've been talking about it. You're loving it. You know, you just said something about a fucking shopping cart. So god damn it. You
Sharing
know,
free ideas.
lots of things on the way. I want to shout out to Geek Dad Life for having us on their channel. I want to shout out to Shartimus Prime, who freaking shouted us out in his last video. Like crazy things.
It's my neighbor.
Yeah, man. And what's it called? Toy Shiz. Oh my god, Toy Shiz has been huge for us. He's been just like really shouting everything out. You know, Mr. Home Arcade. Oh my god, just you know, wonderful friends. You know, huge supporters of the Flipboard campaign. And again, we're about to hit 118,000. I can't believe it. Like just absolutely bonkers. And you know what? Again, thank you guys for all your support, especially everybody out here. Thank you guys for supporting the Flipboard campaign. I mean, this is a win for everybody. It's a win for the community. You know, because we're stronger together than we are apart. And you know, this is what we can do as a community. The toy community is absolutely strong. If you haven't already, guys, check out Mad Hatter's thank you video. You know, it's a rare look into an honest take about what you know he feels about this whole thing, and it was no cuts. He literally just put his heart out there, and you know it was incredible. It was incredible. But yeah, guys, please continue to support the Flipboard campaign, and please also make sure to check out Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. They're so close, everybody. They are so close. And there we go, 188,113. Did you see that jump just now? I love it. I love it. That's that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for continuing to support the Animal Wars in the Kingdom. That's awesome. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. 39 days to go for 345 backers. This is going to be awesome. They need the support. $99,000 is nothing, guys. It's nothing. Like seriously, you know, you don't have to take my word for it, but it is literally nothing. Brick, thank you again, brother. Really glad to hang out with you as always. Yeah, guys, look forward to look forward to more announcements for Flipboard. We will actually be on Toy Habits on Sunday. Matt Hatter and myself. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. Some amazing announcements coming this weekend. I hope you guys will be excited for what's coming up. But I did want to thank everybody out here for joining us.
Cool.
Rick, any last comments before we log off?
The last comment is log off so that you can tell me all about the good things that are coming from Flipboard. Yeah. Just kidding.
He's a bastard that way, isn't he? All right, guys. Thank you so much for everything. You guys
Thank
are
you
the
so
best.
much.
You guys are awesome. Cobweb Collector in the house. Thank you so much. Tidarian Hanger. Yes, do more. Thank you so much, Tidarian Hanger. Good to see you, brother. TW. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. You guys are awesome, guys. G Zambrano. Home Arcade's video where he gets the in hand will be bananas. Yes, it will be bananas.
That is gonna be crazy.
See you, Bethany. Has your Eternia play submission? No. I'm starting to get worried, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have to call Mattel and see what's going on because I was one of the last. I had to wait until the very end, and I'm really concerned that something bad will happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. My fingers are crossed. Hal Jordan, and he's looking insane. Can't wait to get him in hand. And 3030 put beside him. Yeah, you know what? Very excited about Ramen Toy and Brave Star, but we shall see, my friends. We shall see. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good journey. Geek proud.